Well, welcome to the Football Social with Sky Bet. Yes, look who we've got with us today. We've only got ex-England international Darren Bent. We've also got... Woo! Yeah, let's give a round of applause. What a name, what a pair of shoes, what an outfit. We've also got the man that nobody asked for, but he is still hanging around like a bad smell, Dave Jackson, representing the England shirt. And we've got Will Brazier. Will, what are you here to do, mate? England, Holland, what are you saying?
I'm in the social corner. Thank you, Joe. If you want to get involved, at Soccer AM, at Football Daily, using the hashtag #TheFootballSocial.
Yes, it is Nations League semi-final time. England versus Holland. England are technically the away team, so let's do the Dutch lineup first. Let's have a look at who they've put out in their 11. Talk us through this, Darren. What are you thinking about that centre-back pairing to start with?
Probably arguably one of the best in world football. I mean, I think they've probably got the best centre-back in world football in Van Dijk.
Yeah.
De Ligt's probably the best up-and-coming young centre-half. And obviously Danny Blind that experience at left-back, so they're strong at the back. Midfield, Frankie de Jong. I mean, what a player he is. Had a great season. Wijnaldum, hero with Liverpool.
Yeah.
And up front, they're strong as well, with Ryan Babel and Memphis Depay. But if you probably looked at their whole side, you'd probably say the front three is probably the weakest part of the team.
Yeah, right. Let's have a look at the England team then, Dave. Talk us through this one. Who are you most excited to see?
I'm extremely excited to see Sancho. I think I've seen him a few times this season for Dortmund and for England, and he really does look the real deal, really. So yeah. Yeah.
Any concerns? Obviously, the midfield slightly weaker than normal because players have been rested after the Champions League.
Yeah, there's a few slight concerns there. But if I'm from England point of view, I kind of want to see Sterling to kind of go after Danny Blind and put him on the back foot. You know, so rather than look at our weaknesses, I prefer to look at their weaknesses and maybe go after them a bit.
Where do you think, Darren? Where do you think we can get at the Dutch tonight? Because obviously that defence is so solid.
Yeah.
De Ligt, Van Dijk, Blind, like you said. Where can that young front line? Because it is still young. Where can they get at him tonight?
I agree with what you're saying. Now I think Raheem Sterling getting at Danny Blind. I think he's quicker than him.
Yeah.
He's a lot sharper than him. Listen, Danny Blind reads the game really well. As you saw for Ajax, he was brilliant. But I think when you've got someone like Raheem Sterling, who's raw pace, electric, just unpredictable, I think that's where they can get a lot of joy this evening.
Yeah, what about the centre-backs for England, Dave? Because obviously lots been made of De Ligt and Van Dijk's pairing. Harry Maguire's had a silently good season, I think, for Leicester.
I agree.
And John Stones, maybe not got as many minutes as he would have liked under Pep Guardiola. What do you make of that?
I think like the pair of them would arguably two of England's best players last World Cup.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Stones, despite you saying maybe not having the minutes that he probably would have, he'll be full of confidence. He's just won the league. And Harry Maguire's never let England down when he's played for him. So yeah,
I agree.
We've also got, I think, a really interesting kind of defensive midfield battle. Like you've got Frankie de Jong, the name that everybody is talking about, just got a massive move to Barcelona, and then you've got Declan Rice, who I think is probably a year behind Frankie in terms of his development. Who do you see as being the key man out of those two tonight?
Well, obviously Frankie de Jong, as you said, has gone to Barcelona. Keeps the ball really well.
Yeah.
Really makes them tick, and I think it would have been nice to see maybe someone like, obviously I love Fabian, I think he's good, or Sparkley, but I would like someone else in there with a bit more experience, like Eric Dyer, that can kind of guide him, because I believe tonight...
So would you have played Dyer tonight?
I probably would have played the both, just because I think Holland will have more of the ball, more possession. You need that protection for that back four. And I think if it's Declan Rice on his own, he might get overrun in there. Yeah,
you can see the teams here in the tunnel about to come out, which is... Obviously, it's going to be a nervous affair for both sides. This does mean a lot, I think, to England fans, certainly, because we obviously haven't won a major trophy since '66. Le Tournoi in '97, of course, a few people talking about. But I think for England fans, Dave, as an England fan, how much is it going to mean to you to potentially win silverware?
Well, I think for two reasons. A, I just want England to win. Into the Euros next summer, which means we can actually test some of these untested players over the course of what would not really be the qualifiers, even though it would be competitive games.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a fantastic opportunity for us to go into that tournament as well next summer.
Yeah, the man that's leading England out there, Raheem Sterling. What do you make of him being captain?
Yeah, I think he deserves it. He's had an outrageously good season.
Insane.
Not only on the pitch, off the pitch.
Yeah,
I think he's done more probably off the pitch in society and what he spoke about, and really changed people's opinion and really brought some of the difficulties to mainstream, to be fair, and people have seen that. So for me, he deserves that captaincy. I mean, obviously, if Harry had been on the pitch, he'd have been captain, or Jordan Henderson, but if you're looking for another leader out there, I think it's got to be Raheem.
How big a miss are those two? You mentioned them there, Henderson and Kane. Obviously, the Dutch choosing to play their players that played in the Champions League final in Van Dijk and Wijnaldum, but England holding them off. No Trent, no Jordan, no Harry Kane. Would you have played those three?
Trent, probably not, because Kyle Walker's there, so I think Kyle Walker's ahead of him.
Really, still? You still have Kyle?
Yeah, probably, yeah. I would.
After this season?
Listen, I love Trent, I think he's brilliant, but right now, he's not done enough to get in front of Kyle Walker. Jordan Henderson, I would have played him, because I think George, he's got enough in his tank to get about, play the Champions League and to play in this game, and he'll want to play in this. Harry Kane's probably the one where I probably would have left him out, because you don't want to do any unnecessary damage. I mean, he did not look himself.
I agree, totally agree.
He didn't look himself in that Champions League final. And anyone says that, nah, he was fine. He wasn't. He wasn't his usual sharp self. Van Dijk was comfortable. So I agree with that decision.
How long do you, obviously you've played at the top level, how long does it take to come back from an injury like Harry Kane picked up? Because it felt to me as like a everyday Joe, like they'd rushed him. And I always see stuff like, oh, Harry has told the team and the manager he's ready. Is it his decision in that sort of moment?
Listen, he knows his body, but at the same time as well, as you get older, things change. I mean, I had injuries when I was younger, and I'd come back and I'd be able to hit the ground running straight away, like one game. Do you know what I mean? But as you get older and you get these injuries become a bit longer, it does take you a while. I mean, you're just a half a second behind, like a cross will come in, you're not quite there. Or someone will pass you the ball and you're not quite expecting it, you're just a half a second behind, and that takes time. And to be fair, what I always found is when I was coming back from injury, the quicker I got a goal, the quicker I was got speed, because you're running on adrenaline. Yeah, I agree. I think they've done the right thing resting time. Right, let's go to the odds then. Let's have a look at our group bet that we've placed with Sky Bet tonight. I'll go first. I've gone for 2-0 England. Marcus Rashford, first goal scorer. You can get that at 40 to 1. Darren, you've gone 2-1 England. You've gone Maguire, first goal scorer. Talk us through that at 135 to 1. Because if you look at England's set plays, he's the one who gets his head on everything. Maguire, I just think if they put the ball in that box, his head will be there or thereabouts. Will, an absolute shot in the dark here. Friel, the consistent performer. You've gone that pretty much all season. But Van Dijk, 1,200 to 1. Yeah, I mean, if we all do that, we'll be on the maybe on the waters tonight. We'll keep it steady. It's just the only UEFA Nations League. But if that comes in, I mean, I've been saying it all season. I think it could happen tonight. And Dave, you've gone 2-1 England, same scoreline as Darren, but you've gone Sterling first goal scorer at 35 to 1.
I think Sterling would have an extra little spring in his step as the captain, 50th cap, and I think also as well, Sterling just takes a lot more shots than what he ever used to before. He actually just as a
I think his finishing's really improved as well.
I think he believes he's going to score now.
Yeah, totally. And you can get those odds they're accurate at the time of recording. See skybet.com for all the T's and C's. And remember, you have to be 18 plus to gamble. Talking of Sky Bet, they've actually given us some price boost for tonight. We've got Raheem Sterling to score first. 11 to 2 is now 7 to 1. Oh, great bet. De Ligt, get on that right now. Get on it. De Ligt to score anytime, 12 to 1, now 16 to 1. Sancho and Depay both to score in 90. I like that one. 12 to 1 up to 16 to 1. And England to score with England to win and both teams to score 4 to 1, now 9 to 2. Again, odds are accurate at the time of recording. See skybet.com for the latest T's and C's. Remember, you must be 18 plus to gamble. Brazia, you've not said a word so far. You've been silent there. I haven't brought you into any conversation. I feel rude. That's all right. Let's get some questions from the people watching at home. A couple of questions. Carl Jones with a statement. He says, I support Liverpool, so very nervous to see Virgil van Dijk at the back. I think it's scary. Question from Josh Pillin for Darren Bent. Are England favourites tonight?
It's a tough one.
It is tough,
it's tough because Holland are no mugs. You know what I mean? They've played some really good stuff. But England have been on great form as well. So I wouldn't say neither team's favourite, to be honest. I think it's a real even kill. We've both got young, good, talented players. And it should be a really good game of football. I can't see them being a dead rubber where it's 0-0, one of them pointless games.
Darren, you've cursed it now. We've had some 0-0s on there.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know them friendlies where you have them dead rubbers where you think, oh, I just can't see it being like that because I don't think either team wants to play that way. Oh goodness, I hope it's not 0-0.
I think the thing is, though, I think if it was England's best 11, I think we probably would be slight favourites. But I think considering we've got a few changes, I really don't think this is far off England's best 11. Like, I think maybe James Maddison, if he wasn't at the 21s, would be.
I agree.
I think I would probably start Maddison.
I'd still like play Ali because he's got a bit more experience. You know,
I think he's got experience, but I don't think Dele Alli's been Dele Alli for a while now.
But there's something about when they all get together in this England squad. It's like Rashford and Sterling. Like when they went to Spain, it's like a completely different atmosphere. Yeah, I would personally. I'd like to see a midfield of like Declan Rice, Jordan Henderson, and James Maddison. I think that would be quite a nice balance to it. I think if he doesn't get a move this season, he's nailed on to get a move this season.
Maddison.
Linked to 60 million to United. Do you think he can take that step up to a club like United already? He needs another season.
For his development, you'd say probably give him another season just to see if he can do it again. But listen, if Man United come calling,
you don't say.
The biggest clubs in the world are coming for him and they've said, "Oh, no, I'm going to give it another season." Yeah. Had an absolute torrid the next season. Never got the opportunity again.
Yeah. Have you got any? What sort of examples would you use for that? Like, who have you played with before that's had big name offers and you've gone, "I'm going to commit one more season"? Were you ever in that position where like a bigger club came in for you when you were still at one of the smaller clubs and you thought, not yet?
No, my time I thought was quite right. Like obviously, Liverpool came in for me at one stage, and I was desperate to go there, but ended up waiting, and they ended up signing someone called Fernando Torres. Not
a bad move. Not a bad move.
In the end, I was like, okay, I'll hold my hands up, and I went to Spurs again. But yeah, there's been a few. I'm trying to think of players where they waited and just the opportunity went.
Well, I was thinking the other day with Jay Rodriguez. Remember when he was touted to go to the 2012 World Cup? Got an injury. Now he's still bagging him in for fun, but in the Championship.
Where is he now? West Brom.
West Brom, yeah.
Still at West Brom. Yeah, Jay Rodriguez really does stand out. But then equally on the other flip side, I can think of plenty of players that went maybe a season too early, and it was kind of overawing for them, and then they didn't work there, and then their reputation took even more.
Yeah, because I think the thing is, like, particularly in that number 10 position, that is a position where you have to own like that shirt, isn't it? It's not like you're a winger. You can maybe hide for a few games. You're number 10. You have to become like that star, right, of that team.
I totally agree. And like, I think. Oh, by the way, we have kicked off.
We've kicked off.
Come on! Come on!
Volume
or no
volume?
Apparently we've got no volume.
Yeah, a bit of Atmos.
A bit of Atmos, but I'm not sure we can provide it, Darren. We're going to have to sit in pure silence and listen to this.
No, we can get a bit of...
Now, let's get some more questions for the people at home, because let's get them as involved as possible.
Darren, you mentioned about Kyle Walker starting over Trent Alexander-Arnold. Was that more based on this game, or do you truly believe that Kyle's still above him?
Yeah, I think Kyle is above him, because I don't think he's done...
What's he done?
He's been brilliant. Like, I'm a big fan of his. But I just don't think right now what he's done enough to overtake Kyle Walker. I mean, Kyle Walker, you say, Trent's been brilliant, just won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker just won the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? So
domestic treble,
at the moment, domestic treble. So at the moment, you can't justify taking him out yet.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. Like, do you know, obviously we saw at the World Cup, we saw Trippier starting there. And I actually think Trippier's gone really backwards this season. I think he's had a poor season.
He's not even in the squad, is he, now? He's not even in the squad.
I do like Kieran Trippier as well. And during that World Cup, I was saying, well, maybe is he slightly better ahead of Kyle Walker? Because he was brilliant, as you said.
Great delivery as well.
He had a really tough season for Spurs.
And now there's a lot of chat about him potentially leaving.
Yeah.
I'm hearing him linked to like Napoli.
That's right.
Kieran Trippier?
Yeah.
Trippier, yeah. I'm not sure he's so much in favour with Poch now.
What was the thing when you said you fancied Harry Maguire's first goal? Kieran Trippier's set piece was fantastic, but obviously he's not playing today, so maybe we're not going to have that same threat. But like in the World Cup, every set piece that went in.
You know what's mad though about now is that this season as well, Trippier's dead balls as well. They've not been the same as well. Same quality.
Trent's gone above him. Like Trent's dead ball is just outrageous. We saw it in the Champions League, obviously, super effective against Barcelona, but he just seems like he's taking his dead ball situation to a whole new level.
At the moment, I think England are blessed with some serious right backs, and they're all young as well.
Isn't it?
Yeah, you were saying off camera that you think that's their strongest position.
Strongest position. I mean, you're talking about obviously Trent. Kieran Trippier, as you said, Kyle Walker, Joe Gomez can play out there.
Yeah.
Then you look a bit.
Max Aaron's down there.
Jaden Bogle's down there. Just a 6 or 7 there. You've just named that.
Yeah, well, I think Max Aaron's has been quite heavily linked to Tottenham as a potential Kieran Trippier replacement.
Really?
Wan-Bissaka.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we didn't even talk about him. He's had an amazing breakout campaign. What have you made of his breakout campaign?
He's been brilliant. I mean,
he's in there.
Go on.
Go on then, Jaden.
Pace, which is so exciting these days.
Go on, Jaden, get at him. Beat him.
Yeah.
Beat him.
Go on.
Good chance. If Sterling wasn't 5'2", we might have had a goal there.
If I'm in there, Joe, I'm getting on the end of that.
Yeah,
you are, mate. Yeah.
I mean, that's it in your knee, Brazier.
Hashtag real talk. Look at.
That's a good chance.
I think it's a little bit high for him. And you know what, as well, looking at it.
Jadon Sancho just whipping the ball in there, and it just evades Raheem Sterling's head. We got a corner. Let's see who's on him then. Who's that? Ross Barkley, by the looks of him. Obviously, England was super effective.
Here we go.
Maguire. Ross Barkley's calling it. Barkley into Maguire.
Get the love train going.
Maguire.
It was Maguire.
Someone got in his way.
Yeah, there we go. Barkley firing it across, and Maguire and Stones kind of getting in each other's way. I think it was Stones anyway. And Maguire firing over the bar at the end of the day.
Get out of his way, get out of his way.
He's Stonesy. Get out of his way. Let him just strike it. I was really impressed with Maguire this season because
I think he's been great.
I saw a few games where he was just like romping down the wing against Man City. What did you make of him, Dave, this season?
I'll be honest. I was saying the whole season, I would have loved him. I loved him at Arsenal. Like, because then you
can't afford him.
How much is it going to cost? Like 70?
Well, like United were linked with him last year, and it was like 60. You've not got 60 to play with.
I think all we've got is 60. So that's it. That would literally be our one signing for the next 5 years. So maybe we can afford him then.
I really like him as well, to be fair. Maguire, I think he's been brilliant. He's comfortable on the ball. I mean, as you said, he takes one or two risks that I don't really like. As you said, dribbling down the left wing. But listen, he's been brilliant, to be fair.
I think the thing is, I would love to have a defender that actually attacks the ball. You know, then rather waits and then kind of like anticipates. Like, I want to defend because he's actually going to anticipate the ball and actually go and attack and stop some chances of even happening in the first place.
Yeah. First and foremost, you want a defender that's going to defend.
Rather than.
I mean, you just need a defender. I mean, Mustafi.
All right, let's the least said about Mustafi.
Absolutely ice skates when he's at the back. Should we get another question then from Social Corner? Let's see what the people are saying at home.
Yes, Joe. While the action's a little bit dry, but Eden Hazard, 88 million. Real Madrid. Too much, too little, too soon.
Too little.
I think it's too little.
1 year left on his contract.
That's the thing. That's the key thing there.
But like 88 million, like they're in a transfer ban. At 88, I would have been tempted to say, you're going nowhere and we'll just have him and you can leave for free next year. Like in a transfer ban, I genuinely think it could hurt Chelsea so badly losing Eden Hazard that like they could drop to 6th. Straight away without Eden.
Yeah, to be fair, like, there was a load of times we watched Chelsea last season and they were so reliant on him. So reliant.
And if they lose Maurizio Sarri, if he does end up leaving, which is a bit of the chat, isn't it, to Juventus, losing Sarri as your manager and Eden Hazard in one season when you can't sign any players.
And like Rob Green.
Do you know what? This might be the time for Chelsea. What did he say there?
He said lose Rob Green. Don't forget about Rob Green.
I think this could be the time for Chelsea now to start rebuilding. Like this might be a blessing for them, to be fair, because you tired them down the signing players for 60, 70 mil. Doesn't work after a year. They get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? Now they've got how many youngsters they got? That's it, 40 odd.
Yeah, and the rest.
Good youngsters now. Maybe this is the time for them to bed some of these youngsters in and really start to move it forward.
So do you think like a manager like Frank Lampard would be the guy to do that? Because he's done it at Derby.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you know him, you must know him fairly well. Do you think it's time for him to step up and manage Chelsea, or does he need another year?
I think he needs another year, and it's a tricky one because you talk about a club that's notorious for sacking managers after winning doubles, trophies. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, Sarri might get the sack now, and he's just won the Europa. So for me, I'd like to see him have another season, and then maybe if there's another successful one, then maybe him and Jody go to Chelsea and start developing some of these youngsters because you can't have that many youngsters that have been...
Oi! Get it out, boy! Well done, Pickford. That look alike.
That have been brilliant without getting any play. They need to start developing some of these youngsters.
Yeah, Holland just putting together a few dangerous attacks there, but kind of fizzling out. I think it's started fairly evenly. 6 minutes in, there's not been too many clear-cut opportunities other than Raheem.
The first thing we were talking about is that back two. We carved them apart within 3 minutes.
I mean,
absolutely carved them apart.
We carved the best named man in football. The Dutch right back is called Denzel Dumfries.
That's a great
He
name.
plays for PSV.
Great name.
And PSV have had a really quietly underrated season. They missed out on the league title by 3 points. Least amount of defeats this season. Best defence in the Eredivisie. And they are kind of a domestic behemoth now because Ajax haven't won the Eredivisie in a number of years before this year. And Denzel Dumfries is linked to so this backline, we don't even talk about players like him because De Ligt, Van Dijk, Daley Blind have all put it together.
Dumfries.
Denzel Dumfries. I'm telling you, he's going to get a big move this season. Let's get another question then. Get off Football Manager. I'm not Football Manager. I've just seen you on Football Manager there. You absolute snake. England are playing and you're on FM.
Not on FM.
You liar.
Memphis Depay. Obviously, didn't have the best
of
time.
This is a bit sloppy now.
Oh no, here's Memphis. Memphis! Seven. Bergwijn coming in on his left foot and then just troubling.
That was what I meant about Maguire, though, taking unnecessary risks.
Yeah, well, we talked about it already, haven't we? We talked about him potentially overplaying in certain areas. But England, this is the philosophy we're trying to put in now. We're not kicking it long anymore. We're trying to play out from the back. Like I like that.
Listen, I like it as well. It helps as well having a manager that if you do make a mistake, is not going to criticise you for it. And that's the big thing.
Totally agree. I feel like Gareth Southgate's the type of guy who'll, even if you give it away and concede a goal there, he'll take Maguire to one side and go, that's what I want you to do.
Yeah, and he'll be like, listen, that's my fault. I've got you to play that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
What style did you prefer when you were coming up, like that sort of man management approach, or that more sort of like direct assertive?
Listen, there's only a few players in the world that can deal with managers that are not man managers. Every player at some stage will need a manager to put their arm around you.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Who was the best of that for you in your career?
I had a few, to be fair. George Burley, obviously, when I was coming through, he was really good at that. Gerard Houllier was another one. Alan Kirbishy, actually, I'd probably say is the best one.
Well, he just seems like he'd give you a word that's original, just like an absolute top bloke.
He's a nice guy, doesn't he?
Yeah, Alan Kirbishy, yeah, he's probably the best at that. He just doesn't take anything too seriously.
Go on then.
Great chance. Memphis has had it.
Is that Kyle Walker? Oh, what is that?
Kyle Walker.
Get Trent on.
Yeah,
What's going on there, Darren?
Deary me, your man there, Darren. Your man. Oh, look, better than Trent. No, I'm not having it. England quite open. It's a pretty open game early doors, isn't it?
It's good,
Here he is, Denzel Dumfries stretching us.
That was a great night.
What did you manage to catch last night's match, by the way?
Did you?
Semi-final. What did you think of obviously Cristiano hat trick? Not bad.
Wasn't bad. I mean, listen, he's arguably one of the. Like when people who say who do you think's better, like I don't really like. I feel it's disrespectful to either man to say he's better than him.
Messi's better.
I knew you say that, but I just feel that one thing I think Ronaldo's got the edge over Messi, and you can't kind of say that he hasn't, is that when his team really need him,
steps up.
He will pull them out the fire. Messi is probably a better player. I'll give you that. I agree. I think Messi's a better player. But I think if your team really needs it, then Ronaldo somehow finds something from somewhere to get the best out of these teammates, and that's something you just can't teach.
Especially with Portugal. Portugal have relied on him so much. Like you think about when he scored the hat trick against Spain at the World Cup. Just consistently dragged them even to the Euro.
Even when he won it, they won.
He wasn't necessarily the most important player, but just important moments. Like he got injured in the final, didn't he?
Even when he was off the pitch, though, wasn't he? He was
like
managing.
He was managing you, Brazia. Football manager in. But yeah, I agree. Obviously, a bit of a controversial VAR decision as well, Dave. What did you make of that last night?
First things first. I didn't think it was a penalty, even though it wasn't originally called. He went to VAR and then he's gone, it's a penalty. But it was a really strange.
Talk people through what happened if they missed it.
So basically, there was a challenge on. I don't know who the Swiss player was. He basically went down. Play played on. Portugal went up the other end and probably should have had a penalty on himself, because that was 100% pen.
Yeah.
But then once the ball kind of died, the ref went to look at the VAR and looked at it and said, no, it's actually a Swiss pen.
Oh, right, so it flipped over, basically, role reversal. And the Dutch are on the break in a bad way here. They are burning through. I think it's Wijnaldum, plays it into Memphis Depay. Depay, he absolutely spooned it.
Come on, England.
That's Manchester United, Memphis Depay there. What happened to Memphis, by the way? What are we thinking about him? He's taking his game to a new level at Lyon.
Yeah, it looks like, obviously, that maybe the jump to United wasn't the right time, because I think he's got all the attributes to succeed there. But as we were speaking about earlier, before the show started, it's about timing sometimes. Yeah. I think he went to United at the wrong time, and now we're starting to see the best of him. Obviously, there was a bit sloppy, but he's had some great seasons with Lyon, and I think he will get a move again quite soon to one of the big boys again.
So do I. A bit like Wilf Zaha in some respects. Remember when Wilf Zaha took that massive jump to Manchester United, and it just kind of fizzled out, didn't it? And now he's being linked 80 million moves everywhere. I think if Wilf Zaha was like 2 years younger, he'd probably get
I think also it probably didn't help where that period in United's history, they were chopping, changing managers every season, every 18 months kind of thing. And you kind of need a bit, especially when you're a bit younger, you need a bit of consistency, don't you? And like a manager that has brought you to play for him, right? You know, rather than, OK, you've been brought by David Moyes, for example, he's gone. And that's going to be Louis van Gaal, or whoever it was. I don't know who it was at the time.
Yeah, the one thing I will say about Wilf Zaha is I feel like he works best when he's like the star. Yeah. And I'm not sure whether he works quite as well when he's got to play a bit part.
I said the same things you just said there. As I think his biggest attribute, obviously, bar his dribbling and his unpredictability, is that he needs to be that maverick.
100%.
So, like, Crystal Palace, everything is for him. If we're in trouble, give him the ball. Well, if you've got the ball, just everyone leave him alone. But if you then try and take that and then put it in a system, say like Liverpool, for instance, you go and put him in a structured system like Liverpool, you take away probably about 30% of that, what makes him Wilfried Zaha. So then how do you balance the two?
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, he couldn't work in a Man City. And I think that's partly where like a player like Riyad Mahrez has suffered. Like Riyad Mahrez was the star at Leicester, and every attack nearly went through him or Vardy. Yeah. And then you take him out and you ask him to do defensive duties, press in a certain way, come inside.
Well, then he's on there.
Is much harder.
Oh, that's a 5-yard pass.
England's midfield, by the way, has been terrible to start with, and these diagonal balls across the back of us are really killing us.
Walker's gassing already.
Oh my God!
Oh my word, Memphis! He's doing it United. I'm telling you, he's got too much to play with. Like the pressure is on him here. This is the English audience watching him again.
So from your point of view, for United, what do you think went wrong for Depay at United?
I think he was a little bit of a victim, to be honest with you, of a poor team. Like Man United weren't good. I think he actually had a really, really great connection with Luke Shaw on the left-hand side. I think those two worked really well together. And then it was the same season that Luke picked up that horrendous leg injury. Yeah. So as soon as he lost Luke, I think he lost that connection he had with his left back a little bit. You also saw kind of Martial come into prominence on that left-hand side with that brilliant goal against Liverpool to open his account. And then he kind of, it's between him and Martial was being favoured a little bit more by Van Gaal. And I just think he didn't have the minutes, and the system wasn't right for him, and he likes to be the star, a bit like Wilf Zaha.
You know what it is as well? You know when things are going wrong, look at United with Pogba's getting all the blame. If you're a little bit flashy, a little bit outspoken, 100%. People zero in on that straight away.
Sometimes it's consistency. So like you look at Liverpool this season, Manchester City this season, they've pretty much had like Manchester City, Bernardo Silva, Aguero, Sterling. Yeah. You look at Liverpool, Mane, Firmino, Salah. So every week they know what's going on. Just that period at United. It was all over the place. That was like Martial's playing centre forward, then he's playing left. Yeah. Memphis is playing right, then he's playing. Do you know what I mean? There was no like.
He's got to play Flaney up top.
And for Holland, Memphis is playing right through the middle, which makes this offer from Sky Bet all the better.
Lovely segue there, that was, Joe.
That's the first goal scorer straight in there. Make sure you get your money on that. Odds are accurate at the time of recording and subject to change. Got to be over 18 to gamble. Visit skybet.com for all of the T's and C's.
Smithy would have been proud of that one, mate.
Cheers. Smithy is obviously, where is he?
He's in Italy.
Under 21s.
Under 21s.
Pretending to do some work over there, just catching some rays and then ridiculous Ray-Bans. I see him posting on his Insta every single day. Apparently he's watching the Football Social on his laptop. So Smithy,
he's not.
If you are watching, Smithy, go outside, mate. Go outside. Like, top up that tan, because the fake tan you use in this studio, we're running pretty low as it is now.
I've had a bit of that. Something worked, hasn't it?
Yeah, I know, mate. But equally, it would take loads.
Yeah.
Let's get another question then from the fans at home. Who's saying what?
One was for you, Darren, as well. Speaking about Memphis Depay, obviously playing England tonight. Do you think he's gone out with a point to prove? And was there ever a sort of a case in your career where you had that, where you were going against a former team or manager?
I mean, when you play against former teams, you always want to like. I always felt when I left Spurs, I felt like when I played against them, I found another 10% from somewhere. To go against them to prove a point. But for England, I always felt like every time you put the shirt on, that you had a point to prove. Not so much now, because I think Gareth Southgate's kind of changed the whole philosophy, and people are looking at the England team differently now. Whereas when I was there, I felt like every time that shirt went on, I had to do something, or I had a point to prove.
Yeah.
And it sometimes made it more difficult. Do you know what I mean? So I think Memphis now knows that he's probably played against some of these guys, obviously, when he was at United, and he wants to go away. He's had a great season, as I said, for Lyon, been brilliant for them. He probably wants to show them, well, listen, Man United were wrong to let me go. Like, I've become a better player since I left there. Yeah. And sometimes that can go against you, because then you try too hard, like it looks like he's doing at the moment.
Yeah. As like a former England international, like, how heavy does the shirt weigh? And like, obviously we've seen like fan trouble last night. Like, does that sort of stuff play on your mind as a footballer?
The fan trouble doesn't really play on your mind. You do look at it and go, oh, like, why are they doing this? You know, what I mean, they're just putting more pressure on us. But as far as I said now, Gareth Southgate's honestly changed the whole philosophy of the way the England team plays. Whereas when I played, honestly, every game I felt was just like a cup final to me. Like, I felt like if you didn't play well. Whereas now, because everyone's so behind them and how well they did in the World Cup, it's like everyone's got kind of a pass. Maybe in a couple of years' time it might go back to how it was, but certainly for now, everyone seems to have a pass. So if they don't play particularly well, they don't get slated. It's just like, well.
Do you think you can dictate that now, though? Like, because obviously social media wasn't as prevalent when you were playing, but like if you were playing now, you could almost dictate, like Sterling is with his own agenda, sort of.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that does play a big part, to be fair, because now you can maybe get your point across before they can get theirs across. You know what I mean? So maybe that did play a big point, but as I said, it was hard sometimes to play for England, because you were more concerned about the stick you were going to get if you didn't play very well, or if you missed a chance or something.
What was the dressing room like at that sort of time when the press were really on your back? Go on, Chilwell. Ref, come on. That's a yellow. Denzel Dumfries. Denzel Dumfries. Have a word. That's a booking.
You've got to say full name every time.
I am. It's got to be. With a name like that, how can you not full name the
Denzel Dumfries?
You didn't book him.
It's incredible.
That's got to be yellow.
Ridiculous refereeing.
Even
Absolutely ridiculous refereeing not to book him in that situation.
Every major tournament this happens.
That's outrageous. But yeah, what is the dressing room like for England? Behind the scenes, is it all together? Like, we used to hear loads of clicks in the dressing room.
I wouldn't say it was together like these lot are.
Yeah.
These lot here look like they're friends. Not only, but again, I think social media plays a big part in that. Because obviously, I was obviously playing, social media, as you said, wasn't that big. Whereas now, you look on there, they're all out like, doing stuff together, they're all on each other's social media. So they are like friends. Whereas obviously when I was there, it wasn't clicky, but it wasn't...
Go on then!
Wow.
Oh, what's he blown up for there? Absolute rubbish.
Do you think Southgate deserves a lot of credit for that?
Yeah, loads. He kind of like said to them, like, go and play. And just like, obviously tried to tweak. Obviously, he's got Steve Holland, which is a brilliant coach, you know what I mean? Probably one of the best out there. But he's kind of just let them get on with it, but just tweak certain things, and it looks like they're paying dividend. He's not tried to go and change Sterling and say, listen, I want you to play this way. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of let them do what they do for their clubs, and it's paying dividend for England. Yeah,
I completely agree. Dave, as an England fan, like, what's changed for you in the last sort of 12 to 18 months, obviously post-World Cup?
Yeah, well, fair play to Gareth as well. He's actually changed the system that he played in the World Cup, which was very brave of him to do. Obviously, we had the best tournament we had in since 1990.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, and the tournament, it was almost the formation that actually got us that far, because he was playing 3 at the back with five midfielders.
With the wing backs, scoring every free kick we had, corner we had.
Well, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But he's been brave enough to go, OK, I've got better players if I change my system to a 4-3-3. So i.e. I can get more out of Sterling. Obviously, this time last year, Sancho wasn't really on the scene, but he looks like an absolute phenomenal player. So again, it's about getting the best out of the players you've got.
And do you think, like, obviously the younger sides with England have really seen success, World Cups and European Championships. Do you think that's now started to bleed through? Because I personally feel like that success has laid loads of foundations for players like Jadon Sancho, like Marcus Rashford coming through. They've seen that success, or been part of it at least, and that's really changed a lot of mentalities for England's players.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know another big thing is as well, is that... Dumfries.
Denzel.
The last squad, like, they let me come down and watch them, like, behind closed doors and have a good look, is that they invite like 220s to come and train with them. 290s,
really?
Yeah, nice. Which is
really?
Yeah, which is brilliant. And what I like is that with these young teams now, I feel like they can look up and they can see a path to the first team.
Yeah.
Because it was at one stage it was too much. Reputation was picking. Injury, Rooney. Even if they're 20% fit, they'd rather pick them because they're who they are, rather than someone who's playing really well at...
Spot on. Yeah.
But whoever, do you know what I mean? Whereas now these youngsters are thinking, well, like, obviously Gareth Southgate's put players in from the Championship, Mason Mount, into the England squad. These guys are looking, going, well, you know what? Obviously Tammy Abraham played as well for England. That, hold on, maybe necessarily I don't have to be playing in the Premier League, but if I'm playing well and I'm English, there is a path to the...
chance, at least.
There's a chance, and I think that's brilliant. Brilliant for young English players.
It's also as well, if you are like under 20, like just having an opportunity to play with players like Kane, like Sterling, like it's just fantastic, isn't it? Like, you know.
What do you make of Tammy Abraham? Because obviously he's had a great season. Less said about him, the better for obviously Will.
I actually think he's very overrated.
As a Birmingham fan. Do you know what?
Yeah.
I've heard loads of people say that. Like, every Championship fan I speak to says Tammy Abraham...
Go on.
...not got it. Like, and he scored, like, 26 goals in the Championship.
Listen, he's not overrated. He's not overrated.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, he did it for Bristol City. He went to Swansea and they played an awful system that didn't suit him.
Will Boney was getting minutes over him, wasn't it?
Do you know what I mean? It just didn't work. But for me, Tammy, if he plays the Premier League consistently for a team that, like Aston Villa, if he can somehow go back there maybe and spend another season on loan, he'll score goals for them, because what I like about him, he puts himself into areas where he's going to score goals, which is that 6-yard box, 20-yard box, and that's where you want your centre-forward to be.
Go on then, Will, why are you saying he's overrated?
Well, I've only seen him based on Championship form, and he has done it at that level, but I think, like Darren said, he needs to go to that like lower mid-tier Premier League. Another season at Aston Villa would be absolutely perfect for him. He knows the manager.
I don't think Chelsea are going to let him go. Like, Chelsea can't sign anyone. I don't think they're going to renew Higuain. Like, I think it's going to be Tammy and Giroud. Like,
What about Morata? Does he have to come back?
He can come back, but I think Atletico...
He's staying out there, isn't he?
Atletico also, because they're probably likely to lose Griezmann, I think they're probably going to sign him. They've got the option to buy it like 50 million euros, so I'd be surprised if they didn't take that up.
He likes
they're losing Griezmann, and Costa is absolutely
I just don't want to see. After the season he's had, Tammy Abraham, like the worst thing that can happen for his development is to go to Chelsea and sit on the bench again.
Well, the best thing as well was, remember, Wolves came in for him in January as well, and he could have been...
He's done it.
Great tackle.
But he just knew he wasn't going to get ahead of Raul Jimenez.
Yeah, I think a really good club for Tammy Abraham would be Southampton. I think Southampton have got a dearth of striking talent. Yeah. Danny Ings is probably the only recognisable out-and-out striker. Like Charlie Austin. Danny Ings, for like 20 mil. They bought him. And he's got pretty checkered injury history. Yeah. So, like, I think Charlie Austin probably going to leave. I'd be surprised if he's still there. And then, obviously, like, Shane Long, for me, just not a good enough goal scorer at this level. So I think, like, Tammy would get minutes there. He played under a really interesting coach, and like Ralph Hasenhüttl, he'd be the out-and-out striker.
I do agree with him. I think it's either got to be Southampton, someone like Southampton, as you said, or Villa, but just because he knows the club. Yeah. Villa, do you know what I mean? He's comfortable there. He's probably living up here.
Yeah. He
hasn't got to change too much. Do you know what I mean? It's familiar to him. But I just don't want to see him obviously waste his talent by going to back to Chelsea, and just sitting on the bench.
That's the worst. I would like to see him flourish, just not in a Villa shirt.
Yeah, I know what you mean. About 25 minutes in now, I think. Here's a chance.
Every pass has been like off. It's like the Champions League final.
Yeah,
again.
it is. It's just, I think it's because in the same way the Champions League final, like you're seeing passes in this game just miss. It's that big break from the end of the season to the Champions League final to these games. It's like 4 weeks, 3 weeks. Go on, Rashford. Got to do better there for me, Rashford.
I'll be honest,
on the halfway line.
I actually forgot Rashford was playing.
Look at the league just bullying him. What is the league doing at right wing? Get him back there. Like, what more do England need to do? Because we're 25 minutes in, we haven't really seen any concerted pressure from England at all so far.
That midfield needs to get hold of the ball, don't they?
We said it was going to be weak, Darren.
Yes, it is cagey, but you're right. In the middle of the park, they need to get on the ball and start passing it. Even if they have to get a couple passes backwards, just to retain possession, just to get comfortable on the ball. Because at the moment, it's a bit like a basketball match. They attack, we attack. But, do you know what I mean? And I don't think England are suited to play like that.
Yeah, is Harry Winks on the bench? Because if Harry Winks is on the bench, this is the sort of game I think suits him quite nicely.
No, he's not.
He's not in the squad.
You've got Hendo,
maybe that's because
Ali.
he played in the Champions League final, but like I feel like this is the sort of game that suits a player like Winks, who's not the best creator or the best defender, but just pops loads of passes off. Get some rhythm going in your team.
That's why when people used to obviously hammer Jorginho for Chelsea, some people don't understand how important that role is. Yeah, listen, he might not be like 5 yards there, 10 yards, but it just gets a bit of consistency in the team where they can just kind of everyone can relax and go, right, let's just have a feel of the ball for 5 minutes. And that's what I think England need at the moment, because it's too...
What do you boys make of Rashford through the middle? Because obviously we've not seen Kane tonight. He's still being left on the bench, but like Rashford through the middle, that his best position, or is he still better out wide?
To be fair, he's not much like kind of service, has he? So but. I think he's definitely best through the middle rather than out wide. I think he's definitely not a winger, is he? And he's so I think he definitely needs to play through the middle.
My God. Do you think we have to change the way we play? Like Rashford to Kane? They're two very different types of footballers. Like Rashford is a pace merchant, wants to play in behind. I feel like Kane wants to play more to feet.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think I prefer his down the middle, but I think when you got someone like Raheem Sterling, I think Raheem Sterling will play better with someone like a Kane, because Kane will drop short, which will leave space naturally behind, and that's where Sterling is so effective at running behind him, or Jadon Sancho, if the carry comes to feet, them two can just go in behind him.
Yeah, that's what works so effectively when they've got like Heung-min Son or Lucas Moura, isn't it?
Even what we did to Spain, in Spain. Remember, that was like absolutely scintillating football, counter-attacking football. I mean, this could be further away from that.
Like, I feel like our midfield are really struggling though.
Yeah.
It's really struggling to get hold of the game, and I don't know whether that's because they're up against likes of Frenkie de Jong and Wijnaldum, who can just dictate the play. Like Frenkie de Jong, I love watching him because when he drops between the centre backs, picks the ball up and just drives forward. It's just incredible to watch.
Well, if you think about it as well, probably only in that midfield, Declan Rice has probably played any real minutes this season. Really, you look at Delphi, who's been in and out. Barkley's been a bit part player for Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? So only Declan Rice in there's probably played consistently week in, week out.
And Delphi's been playing as a wing-back.
Like left-back,
Like, not a centre-mid. Not at least a majority of minutes under Pep.
To be fair, for that England game, do you remember that standout game against Croatia that got us here, actually?
There's a chance. Bergwijn whipping in the ball. It's still in the box, but England are going to get it clear through...
Who'd you bring on, though, on the bench? We've got Lingard, Henderson, Dele Alli...
Henderson's the first one I'm bringing
Eric Dyer.
No, Henderson I'm bringing on. Just because, you know, he up and down. Gets
like you said about popping them passes, those 5-yard ones.
What about Callum Wilson?
I would like to see him
He's on the bench tonight. He's on the bench tonight. So would you like to see him come on? It's a bit of a fairy tale story, I guess.
I would like to see him start, to be honest, because I think if you look at the strikers that are in the squad, other than Harry Kane's been injured, so you take him out, his performances this season have been better than Rashford's.
Yeah, and I think his partnership with like Ryan Fraser has been electric this season, isn't it? So
14
I can see people's arguments.
in it or something like that.
Yeah, I think they've combined for more goals than anybody else in the Premier League, or at least right up there. Let's get some more questions then from the people at home. William, what is happening? What are people saying?
Yes, one of the questions is we're talking about the midfield, very prevalent at the moment. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, starting at the end of becoming back to full fitness. Would we like to see him in this midfield?
100%.
Yeah, I think this is obviously way too soon as you come back with injury. But I think obviously if we kind of get there and he stays fit, I think he'll definitely be in this first 11.
Before he got injured, wow, he was electric.
Amazing, wasn't he?
Wow.
That City game.
But does he get back in that Liverpool team? Like, I look at that Liverpool team, I'm like, Naby Keita is struggling for minutes.
Yeah.
So where does Alex fit in? Because I guess they're going to reduce minutes for James Milner, but even then it's going to be tight for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
To be fair, it's the sheer amount of games that they play as well, isn't it? When you get to that business end, when it's Champions League, it's Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah, that's true. And he was so important towards the back end of last season. You must be gutted to see him.
I'm not gutted for him, though. I'm genuinely not. Like the thing
Come on.
You must be gutted.
You sold him at
of course. That's what I mean.
Ramsey,
but for him personally, because he always gave everything. I remember there was one game he played against Bayern Munich. And
There's a chance. Rashford penalty. Surely.
It's a penalty.
Oh, Matthias de Ligt has had an absolute nightmare.
Is it given?
Yeah,
He's got to give it.
Matthias de Ligt has let the ball slip his legs. Red. It's going to be a yellow. It's double jeopardy. But Matthias de Ligt's let the ball slip under his foot. Rashford has just stolen in, nicked the ball off his toes as de Ligt's sliding.
There was
de Ligt's
zero complaint.
He's just shut his mouth.
Great chance for England. This is 100% a penalty.
That's 20
as much a penalty as you ever see.
It's just, again, inexperience.
Yeah.
Done 19, do you know what I mean? Don't go to ground there.
That's 20 mil straight off that
ball's just slipped under his foot, and obviously Rashford, that pace has just seen him gather it in. Who's going to take the penalty? Who takes the penalty for England?
Rashford win it?
Rashford, I mean, took the pressure penalty against PSG, didn't he, of course? Here we go then. Is it going to be Marcus Rashford?
What's Pickford stepping up for? What's he doing? Get back in goal.
It's not reviewing this with VAR.
Get back in goal, Pickford.
No, it is. It's going to be...
They review it. They give 2
Come on, Marcus.
Is that Marcus Rashford? Yeah, it's going to be Marcus Rashford. Bit of a dodgy penalty taker, I'll be honest, as a Man United fan. His first ever penalty was against PSG.
Oh, he's a brilliant one, 100%.
Yeah. 100%.
That was his first.
Are you serious? What a moment! What
penalty
pressure
for Manchester United.
I feel he's going to go to the keeper's right because I don't know if he's got that side foot. I think he's got that smash across there.
Smash, always there.
Yeah,
I agree. His left keeper's right, and it's that power penalty.
Exactly.
Either that or it'll be straight down the middle. And it will be late. Rashford, if he hits these, like he takes his free kicks, like look, his run-up's too long.
Too straight.
Like,
it looks like he's left footed.
The ball's not even on the spot.
Like, you know that he's going to absolutely lever this.
Come on, Marcus.
For England.
Let's go.
Come on, Marcus. Likes a bit of pressure. Come on, Marcus. Did he take one of the World Cup against Colombia? I think he did. Did he?
Yeah, he did.
He did. I think he did. He put one top bin. So can he make it? Yeah! Come on! Get in! Very cut. We're totally wrong, Dan. Talking
Yes, a great penalty. We're obviously waiting for the keeper to go down.
Yeah.
Keeper kind of made his decision for him, and great penalty. That will settle him down as well.
Yeah.
Coming in for Kane. At the moment, it's like the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, that settled everyone down a little bit. De Ligt has had a nightmare, an absolute nightmare there. Definitely a penalty. I mean,
what's he doing?
It's an ugly tackle anyway, like anywhere on the field, but calm penalty. England go 1-0 up.
That was a good penalty, man.
Marcus Rashford, the scorer. How's this going to play out now then? Do the Dutch go more attacking? Do they wait until the half-time whistle?
This is perfect for England now. We've got so much pace on the counter. Like, this is perfect for England.
Yeah, I actually agree. The pace on the counter, England are going to be really sitting deep, soaking it up.
You just relax a little bit now. Yeah.
At the earliest opportunity. Although what I will say is Van Dijk is the master of the counter. Like, when it's 2-on-1 or 3-on-1, he's just calm.
Yeah.
Like, how highly do you rate him, Darren? You were talking about him as the best centre-back in the world when the stream started. Do you think he's up there with the Premier League's best ever? Because I hear rubbish. People going, he's better than Rio all the time. Calm down.
No, listen, he's not better than Rio and JT and them yet. But listen, what you've got to look at is the impact that he's had on Liverpool.
Yeah.
You talk about 2 Champions Leagues in 2 years. They look dodgy, Liverpool, do you know what I mean? For a while, but listen, he's been absolutely brilliant. To put him with the greats at the moment is not there yet. But obviously, if he continues again with Liverpool and starts consistently winning trophies and stuff, then you've got to put him in the conversation.
Yeah, totally agree. What are the England fans saying off the back of that goal then, William? They must be pretty happy.
Big question is De Ligt's career over now? 19 years old, tackle like that, I mean...
At this level, if that was Wayne Rooney, mate, when Wayne Rooney was 19, the England fans would have been crucifying him.
England fans absolutely buzzing, but a question for all of us here. I mean, we're all different generations, some older than others.
Dave.
Who is your favourite ever England player?
Oh.
From not the best, but who's the one that sort of caught the imagination when you were growing up?
OK, I used to love Steven Gerrard, man.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to love Steven Gerrard.
Darren's going to say himself.
That's actually class that you could say that.
Yeah, probably me.
If I say England player, it's a hard one that for me, you know. But
what was your first tournament that you remember?
Like, properly?
Yeah.
94 and England won, innit?
Oh, right.
But do you know what I'm going to say? Probably either Michael Owen or Alan Shearer.
Michael Owen, 98, Argentina.
But I just remember Alan Shearer, 96, that goal against Holland, 4-1. Whack.
Yeah. I think mine's Wayne Rooney.
What, 2004?
Like,
brilliant, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was like, I guess the breakthrough as well. But just like, he used to take so much stick from everyone, man. Like, he used to take all of the weight. And I know that it was because he was probably played when he shouldn't have been played, but nothing he could do about that.
Yeah.
Like, it's the manager selecting him at the end of the day. And he just, I think he held himself pretty well.
Okay.
Him or Beckham, I think Beckham as well.
Beckham.
Like, Beckham was a bit of an icon.
Listen, I think he's an icon as well. Oh, no way.
Oh, Jordan. Short arm.
I'll tell you what,
Jordan.
if Jack Butland gets a Premier League move this summer...
Have a day off.
He will be England's #1
What
next
are you
season.
talking about?
Guaranteed.
He's fallen off a cliff, hasn't he, Butland?
Mate, he gets a Premier League move, get him in Bournemouth, he'll be overtaking Pickford.
I think like players like Nick Pope and that must be a little bit gutted. Like Tom Heaton had an outrageous season. Like Nick Pope last season was outstanding, and then Tom Heaton turns up this season and is even better again.
I wouldn't be starting Pickford in the next 6 months.
Yeah, I actually agree. I don't think Pickford had a particularly good season.
Do you know what it is, though, I think, is that he's been the England #1 now for so long that he's got that kind of relationship now with the defenders.
Which is important, right?
Which is important, that he's got that chemistry. So now to take him out and then to start someone else after Pickford's been in there for so long, it's difficult.
Yeah, and like goalkeepers are so hard to like say consistently like, oh, he's been amazing.
Yeah. You know what? It's also as well. Like, it's like we shouldn't underestimate how important it is that having a keeper that's won you a penalty shootout as well. Because England hadn't have had that. Like, if he keeps doing stuff like that, then he's gonna have to be dropped.
But he's done that consistently all season. Pickford,
he has,
for Everton, which it must be a concern to Southgate. But equally, I think if Tom Heaton was younger as well, he'd probably be getting selected. But
he always has that long-term approach, doesn't he, Southgate?
Yeah, like I feel like again, who's that?
Offside.
It's got to be offside. But the VAR, obviously VAR let it play on there. Memphis Depay getting a snapshot off, but Pickford saving it pretty easily. What do we think about next season's Premier League then? Let's talk about that briefly.
It's not.
For Arsenal, Dave. Let's get your reaction to Arsenal because you're struggling badly. You're all over the gap.
We're in massive. I just hope that we could have scraped into the Champions League this season and we actually have some money to
humiliated yourself in the Europa League final.
No, quite say humiliated. We definitely got beaten. All right. I think the thing is, like, it's whatever his name is, that American fella who runs the club. He is the issue. It's not what's his face, Unai Emery. It's not bloody Mustafi, any of that, right? You know, it's the stand bloody. We're currently paying for the LA Rams stadium. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, but
equally,
like good stadium though, Dave. You can't.
I don't care, Will.
It's a great Coliseum.
Oh, here we go. England on the attack here.
Go on, Jayden.
Oh, he's got such.
He's on.
It's a
finish. He's come through the back of it.
Dumfries.
Denzel. I'm telling you.
He's got a finish.
Surely. Are we going VAR here? Are we going VAR?
It's a good tackle.
It looked like a good challenge. Sancho just absolutely
loaded the lips. Oh, shit.
Again. It felt like Rashford was offside, though, I actually thought, when he played the second ball. When he plays this ball, is he not off?
He's on. Dumfries playing him on.
Denzel. That's a great tackle.
tackle.
That is an absolutely fabulous tackle by big Denzel Dumfries.
What a tackle.
I told you, remember the name. Double D.
Man.
Denzel.
Tell you what, if De Ligt's coming in again, that's another penalty.
Donuts, Dumfries.
De Ligt's over there. He's just got Megs as well.
De Ligt wouldn't even get in the Blues team right now, I'll tell you.
Rashford is down injured.
I'll take it, yeah.
He definitely will.
I'll drive him to Birmingham.
Rashford is down injured, but England have some pretty strong options on the bench.
Even he might feel he's got a point to prove, you know. Southampton and Everton. And
do you know, I've seen him linked with the Barcelona job. Quite heavily over the last week. Valverde everybody hates him at Barcelona. He's won the title back to back. Nearly went unbeaten last season as an invincible, but lost 3 games to go. And now he's like on the chopping block after that Liverpool 4-0 and the Valencia Copa del Rey.
You can't. The Liverpool one's the big one. You can't go 3-0 up in a home Champions League and get beat in the manner they got beat. Listen, anyone can get beat, but they look like they didn't even turn up. They didn't get off the coach. They didn't really have a go. Liverpool outrun them. They outworked them.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch. If you was a Barcelona fan, it would have been hard to watch.
Yeah, it's so strange because that was one of the games we did. And it was like all Barcelona was 1 goal and it was done. That's it.
Even at 3-0, you'd have thought Barca was still going through.
Yeah, well, it made that Ousmane Dembele miss.
That one at the end.
As soon as he put that over, I thought, Liverpool are going to come back and win.
Did he put it over?
Keep his hand, didn't he?
Yeah, he like duffed it, didn't he? It was an absolutely terrible shot. Rashford is hobbling off here. Looks like he might have to get replaced. It doesn't look good at all.
So when it be his knee, did he do his knee?
I think he kicked, as Dumfries slid in, he kicked Dumfries' leg. So he might well have to come off. If he does come off, who would you bring on, Kane or Wilson?
I'll go Wilson. If it's second half, I'd say Kane, but if you're not starting with Kane, I'll stay with
Wilson. That was a lovely bit of skill from Sancho, though, in the middle, wasn't
it? We never get that as England, do we? Little nutmegs.
That's the Sancho move. Like, Sancho's the king of the nutmeg, isn't he? Like, in and around the edge of the area for Dortmund this season, he's been absolutely deadly. Obviously, joint most assists in the league, I think, over there with like 13, 14. So that's his area, Jadon Sancho, drifting in off the wing. He's been linked with some big moves. Man United, 100 million. PSG, 100 million. Time to go now or time to stay at Dortmund?
Stay another season,
Yeah, because he's one of the kings there. He's playing week in, week out. Like, sometimes the grass ain't always greener, do you know what I mean? Like, where he's playing for a big club in Dortmund. Yeah. He's playing really well. He's becoming an England regular. Like, he might go to Manchester United. Obviously, where's he play on the left?
He plays on the right. Plays on the right. I think he's playing on the left tonight, but he plays on the right at Dortmund.
Yeah, I just think he doesn't need to go anywhere at the moment. As I said, he's in the England squad. He's playing for Dortmund. He's playing really well. Why would he need to go anywhere else?
So young as well.
Exactly.
How old is he? 18? I think he's 18, isn't he? Yeah, I agree. I think stay another year. Like, that move's still going to be there.
So when like City sold him, did they have like a buyback?
No.
They didn't do it.
Imagine he stayed another 5 years. He's still only 23.
That's mental.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need to go anywhere.
Dele Alli's only 23, 24. It's like all these players that come in so young and so early.
Yeah.
And that's so, if you can get the game time from 17 to 23, a world beater at that age.
He stays at Dortmund 5 years. He's only 23.
I think the trouble is that Dortmund are a selling club. Like, we all know that if you get the right price, they'll sell that player. Like, Ousmane Dembele left very young, didn't he, for Barcelona? I think that was like 130, 140 mil. You've seen Lewandowski, Hummels, Goetze, Kagawa, all of these boys leave. If the right offer comes in, I don't know whether he'll have a choice.
That's brilliant for
Dortmund will go, lad, we need the money.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So if you were to go, if you were Jadon Sancho, and you had the choice between United and PSG, United obviously not doing well, but PSG Farmers League.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
If I'm Jadon Sancho?
Yeah.
Bayern Munich.
Really?
Yeah, stay where he's... Like,
stay in the Bundesliga?
Yeah, stay in the Bundesliga.
And you'd be, like, #1 there, wouldn't you, without robbing them?
Do you know what I mean? Like, you might as well go there. They're rebuilding
that's a good point,
again.
actually, yeah.
Go there. You don't mean... Listen, I get it. Manchester United's a bigger club. Like, but they're in a kind of weird situation, do you know what I mean?
I would not join Man United right now if I was a 19-year-old. Like, I'd be thinking, like, this project... It's going to take 4 or 5 years even to get rolling.
Go to Bayern Munich. Look, he's not doing something as well that people haven't done before. As you said, Lewandowski's done it. A few
Goetz has done it.
They've all done it and they're taking that step up to Bayern Munich, and he should do the same.
And Bayern, like, notorious poachers of young talent, aren't they? I think the issue is that they... I don't know if they want Leroy Sané instead. Like, Leroy Sané fits the mould quite well as well, doesn't he? German. He would be going back there. They want like 100 mil for him as well.
For who?
100 for Sancho, yeah. I think I'd pay 100 for Leroy Sané. Here's a chance, Maguire. Get up, boy. Delph!
Oh! Good strike. Good strike. Unlucky.
You pay 100 mil for Sané?
Yeah.
And 88 for Hazard?
I think...
Oh, Christ.
Where's Pickford going? Clatter everyone. Long kick from Cillessen come all the way through to Pickford. He's just taken out 6 men. Absolutely ridiculous scenes. But yeah, I would pay 100 million for Sané.
Yeah.
Like, I think because he's so young still, what is he, 21?
Is he?
Yeah. I would be spending so much money. Get out Leroy Sané's age, Brazil, but I think he's 21. And whenever he plays, he rips up trees. But he's just not... He's another player who's not a system player.
32.
He's never 32. How old is he? He's 23. He's 23. So he's a bit older than I thought, to be fair. But, like...
He signed for 37 mil.
Exactly.
Yeah, and which now looks like peanuts, doesn't it? Like,
but like, if you're Bayern and you need a winger, I don't see there are that many options that are better than Leroy Sané at 23 that are viable.
There must be something with his attitude, though. Because even in the Germany thing, the Pep thing, like his talent's undoubtable.
Yeah.
But
there's something quite not right, isn't it? Because to not take him to a major tournament like the World Cup, he must have did something bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they were awful.
I do think it's that it comes down to that system versus individual again. Like Man City are so system-based, and like that German side was so system-based that I think Joachim Löw would rather. Double D, Dunkin' Donuts. Terrible from Double D. It's absolutely awful, useless.
Do you know what though? You know you said about the system, but it worked for Sané last season. He was brilliant for Manchester City last season.
But even then, he didn't. Like, I didn't see Sané as like a nailed-on first-team sheet.
More so last season than this season. But I don't know what's happened. But whatever reason, he's just
struggling a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
He would start every week for Bayern, I think, on that left, replacing Robin or Ribery. He'd be he's the sort of player as well that would just be outrageous at Bayern. Like, you know that Bayern would get the best out of him. He'd score and assist for fun in the bully.
In one side and Jadon Sancho the other.
Ugh.
Did you ever get the? Was there any ever rumours of you going abroad to play? Did you get
not so much abroad. I mean, I think there's been a conversation before when Ancelotti was in charge of PSG.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a conversation, but it didn't go much further than that, and that looks like someone just nearly died because that was horrible.
Dumfries again.
Double D. It's the best name in football, but he's having an absolute stinker.
He should have already been on a yellow.
He should be for Chilwell.
He should be off.
He is quite an aggressive player. Like
it looks horrible.
I mean, obviously the PSV manager as well is Mark Van Bommel, who is like notoriously the biggest hitman in world football. So I'd imagine that he does get his players quite pumped up.
Oh, he's clearly led by the arm, isn't it?
It's a bit of a 50-50, I think. It is a booking, it's reckless, but it's no more than that, I think. But yeah, Mark Van Bommel's his boss, so I reckon Mark Van Bommel was like, right, we're going out there. I want to see at least 5 yellows. Let's injure a few players. Chilwell was down. Looked really heavy, didn't it? Actually, like Luke Shaw had a really similar injury, didn't he, at Wembley for England?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
He was down for ages, wasn't he?
Was that against Spain as well? Somebody like that.
Hit the turf.
And he hit the turf and he was down for ages.
But we were there on a stag do, weren't we? Watching it on a stag, yeah.
Yeah, we were on a stag do. Less about that better day. let's get some questions from the watching people at home while this injury happens.
Joe, a lot of people wanting your reaction as a big Manchester United fan to Daniel James joining the club.
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie and say I've seen loads of Swansea this season. I've seen bits and bobs of them against like the likes of Man City in the Cup and stuff, but obviously electric pace, very, very fast. Seems like a slightly questionable final product, but that's what you expect from a player that young. What is he, 19, something like that? I think we've paid £18 million for him, which is not a massive amount of money either, so doesn't seem like too big of a risk. And obviously that's the type of signing Ollie's going for, you know. We're clearly moving away from the Guimaraes of this world and signing the Pogbas of this world right now, other than maybe if we get a centre-back. I think we're going for like the Daniel Jameses. We're going for that James Maddisons, that sort of younger, gifted British player that Ollie's identified.
But then you've got a lot of those players. Like, you could push through for the academy as well. I mean, we're talking yesteryear, like 20 years ago,
he's not right,
class of 92. But you've got Greenwood. Was it Chupa? Who's the lad? Chong.
Yeah, I mean, Mason Greenwood looks like a supreme talent.
Even McTominay
is fantastic talent. Yeah, McTominay, I think probably still a squad player.
Tuanzebe had a fantastic year at Villa as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, what did you make of Axel? Because obviously I've seen a lot of Axel and Villa fans raving about.
They want him back for this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if United gave him back either.
Do a year in the Prem.
I think he's actually been training with them in the off-season, so I think he'll probably just stay there. That's a great ball in. Oh,
unlucky.
The league's read it. But yeah, United have loads of good talent coming through, and I think we're probably going to move away from that Galactico model. It never really worked for Fergie either. Like, a lot of Fergie's best signings were sort of middle ground players that he managed to get the best out of. I think back to like Alan Smiths and stuff that were not incredible signings, but like Fergie just somehow got everything out of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what Solskjaer's going to go for. That'd be my opinion anyway. But do you think United should go for that Galacticos or stick with that sort of Daniel James mould?
I feel like you guys need to try and build a team for the first time in about 10 years or whenever it is, or ever since Fergie's gone. It's like...
We need to start a centre-back.
It's just almost like pieces that you've kind of had. And at the moment, it's about 5 managers, different teams at the moment, all mashed into one.
We got to get...
Go
by Rashford.
Go on, Rashford.
Oh, no, don't. Go on, Rashford.
What's crazy, though, is like, you look at Man United, right, and you look at their squad and the players they've got. They've got really, really good players to actually start building with.
Yeah.
It's not like you've got bare bones and you're like, oh my God, where do you start?
Yeah.
You've got players like Pogba. I know he's obviously... You've got Pogba there.
Martial, Rashford.
You've got Martial, Rashford, Lukaku.
Yeah.
Lukaku. You've got De Gea. You've got...
But then you've got the Chuckle Brothers at the back, Phil Jones and Chris Smalling.
Yeah, but then you concentrate right now on... You concentrate right now on that area there, centre backs.
Yeah.
And then you start at the back and then you go forward.
Oh, what's he
you've not got bare bones. You've not got bare bones. You know what I mean? You've got good players.
Stones has had a nightmare giving the ball away in his own box. Bergwijn.
What?
Stones
just
overplaying, trying to nutmeg a player on his own 6-yard box. Absolutely outrageous. No right to do it either. But yeah, I totally agree with Man United. I think there's a really good spine there. I just think there's a problem with the wage structure at the club. There's a few obviously loads of problems off the field with the likes of Ed Woodward, the clown there, and the Glazers aren't particularly doing too well. So I kind of feel like Solskjaer's got a lot of pressure to do that job, and a guy who doesn't have experience doing that job would worry me slightly. So we're coming up to the end of half-time here as well. 4th minute of injury time. The Netherlands have a corner as well at the England end, given away stupidly by John Stones.
It really was silly.
Dangerous ball whipped in. De Ligt! Oh! Just headed wide. And that'll probably be half-time. De Ligt heading just wide from the corner. What do you make of the first half then, gents?
Scrappy.
Thoughts?
So similar to that Champions League final.
Yeah, it is.
Like
not
no bit of one quality, is it?
Yeah, it has been scrappy. I think Holland have kind of maybe tried to force it a little bit more, like against England. England have just waited and caught them on the sucker punch, to be fair. And I think that Holland have tried to play a way that maybe they've got the players to really hurt England.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas it's been tough, but listen, great 45 for England.
Yeah, there we go. The half-time whistle has blown. 1-0 to England. What are the people saying? What are the England fans saying in the comments below?
I think just a lot of people surprised that Holland haven't come out and...
Rubbish.
Failed to deceive, really, haven't they? I mean, we're all talking about the defence, but when you go forward, that front three haven't really done anything, have they?
Yeah, Depay's, I think, culpable of overplaying, like just trying to do too much. Same could probably be said of Bergwijn, and then I just don't really rate Ryan Babel anymore. I don't know whether it's that hair or that season at Fulham, but just not for me. Dave, what have you made of England first 45?
They're showing a few glimpses. I think before England scored, I thought Holland were probably the better team, but then we managed to get that goal. I think we'll win this quite comfortably, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I can't see.
Touch wood?
No, I think we'll probably get the second on the counter, 60-minute mark, and then that'll be it. Job done.
Yeah. Do you think any changes at half-time you would make, Darren?
You might look at Chilwell just see how he is, because he looked like he wasn't quite...
Danny Rose as well on the bench.
Yes, he might look to just change that just to make sure. He might want to do something in the middle of the park, trying to get some legs in there so England can try and get on the ball and start passing it. So it wouldn't surprise me maybe if he brought on Dyer maybe or Henderson in there. I think he'll leave the front three. If Rashford's okay, I think he'll leave that front three.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, like totally surprised to see Callum Wilson get some minutes eventually. I think because it is only Sunday, the final, he might want to save some of those front three's legs to some extent. Either way, if you've got any questions for Darren or for any of us on the sofa, make sure you slam them in the comments below. Let's get some now then.
Yes, Darren, we were talking off air about it as well, linked to England. Do you think you deserved more caps? I mean, we were talking about that fantastic season, 24, 25 goals at Sunderland, going to World Cup. Do you think you deserve more?
Yeah, you always think you deserve more caps. I mean, I remember my first season at Charlton, I think I got 22. And obviously, I think I played one game that season, but I was in about 7 squads.
Right.
So there's you're thinking, how am I not getting the minutes there? So you always feel as a player you deserve more caps. And I was always under the impression, I was always taught that obviously you get what you deserve, basically. And if you're scoring goals and playing well, then you deserve to get more for it. And for whatever reason, it wasn't meant to be. But I believe, obviously, I was playing like this kind of generation with Gareth Southgate. I believe I would have got more caps.
Yeah.
But obviously, let's say Savan and Capello and people like that, I believe them kind of managers were more in reputation than actually looking at what fits what and who deserves to be playing and who doesn't.
Did they ever speak to you directly and say, like, it's because, obviously they wouldn't say reputation, but did they ever give you a reason for it? Because obviously the goals speak for themselves. No,
but the only conversation I remember having was with Capello after what World Cup was it where England really struggled? Was it
2010?
2010. Yeah. And I remember him saying to me, to be fair, I got called into the next squad after that, and he said, listen, sorry, I should have taken you to the World Cup. Like, I made the wrong decision. And he played me every qualifier until I got injured.
So what was your thought process like in that 2010 World Cup? Because obviously you just come off the back of one of your best ever season. Were you thinking, like, I'm nailed on?
No, I didn't think that, because the same thing happened to me in 2006, where I got 22. I was the highest scorer again in English, for Englishmen, and I didn't go. So that shocked me more. That shocked me in 2006. I thought, huh?
Who went that year? Owen, Rooney...
And Walcott. Remember they took Walcott?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. So I thought...
never even played a minute.
No, that shocked me. So when that 2010 one came up, I kind of half expected it. Even though I thought, there's a chance I could go, I still thought, it's happened to me before, so...
What do you think mentally, especially 2006 when you're a little bit younger, you've literally put all the work you can do in. Statistically, you're the best person to go to the World Cup.
I could not have done any more that season. I remember having a conversation with so many different people. Alan Kirbishley. I mean, I remember that last game of that season, Alan Kirbishley took me off at half-time against United, because he was like, listen, you've got the big World Cup, I don't need to get injured. Like, I think you've got to be going to the World Cup, and I'm not going to risk you. Like, you deserve it, you've been brilliant this year. Took me off at half-time, so I'm buzzing, and obviously I didn't go.
Did Sven speak to you? Did he give you a reason?
Not really. No, he just phoned me and was like, obviously, listen, Darren, I'm not going to take you on this occasion, but well done for the season you've had, and I'll see you next season.
Wow.
So when you then found out that Theo was in the squad, like, we obviously I don't want to put what was your reaction?
At the time, I just couldn't
process it.
Yeah, I couldn't process it. It's like, and you start looking back over the season, like, maybe I could have done this more. And I think, well, no. And then at the end of the day, that 2006 helped me for 2010, because I thought, you know what, it's happened again then.
But 2010 was an odd one as well, because, like, Crouchy went...
Yeah. Did Andy Carroll go as well?
Heskey went 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what were your thoughts on that? Like, you must have been thinking, at that... Is there, like, any situation where you can pick up the phone and be like, what are you doing? Like, I need to be in this squad.
No, do you know what's mad is that I thought to myself, after the season I had that season, I didn't go. I kind of just not laughed it off, but I was like, you know what, well, I couldn't have done any more. I've just got 24 goals, like, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wanted them to do well, but... I was just like, OK...
You've done the Instagram now, straight on it.
Joke.
Joke. But as I said, like, I felt a bit better, obviously, because he said to me, listen, Darren, I made a mistake. And as I said, he played me every qualifier up until I got injured. And then, obviously, I think it was the Euros after that, leading up to the Euros, and I didn't go because I was injured.
Let's get one more question then for Darren at half-time.
Speaking of happier times, that's a prolific season for Sunderland. There's one incident that everyone's been dropping in the comments. It is the beach ball. Talk me through the goal, lead up, the aftermath, everything's going on.
So I just remember, because obviously the question I get most asked is, like, did you mean to do that? Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, I kind of vary my answer. I kind of go, well, yeah, I saw it. But to be fair, no, it was just one of them crazy things where we like, Liverpool were struggling that season, if you remember. Like, I think they were getting beat by everybody. I think Blackpool went down there and gave them a bit of a hiding, and they were really struggling at the time. And they came to the Stadium of Light, and we were playing really well at the time. And the game started, and we battered them from start to finish. Like, we should have beaten by 5 or 6. And it just so happens that in the first half, obviously, we get this chance, and it comes across to me. And obviously, as a striker, my thought process is always, as it's coming to me, hit the target. I don't care if I catch it clean, hit the target, because anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm always thinking, like, if it hit the target, it might go under the keeper's legs or anything. And I remember hitting the beach ball and going in, but because I was so happy that I'd scored at the time, that honestly, it did not cross my mind, like, anything. I just thought, buzzing, and ran off, celebrating. And it's only the Liverpool players' reaction at half-time, the ref come up to me again, what happened, did it hit the beach ball? And he was, like, having a panic, the ref, like, maybe
ref speaking to you?
Speak to me as I'm walking off at half-time, I was like, did it hit the beach ball? I went, yeah, I think I said, yeah, I think it hit the balloon.
20 minutes ago.
I went, yeah. I was like, hit the balloon or something, yeah. And he was like, oh, no, I shouldn't give it. Like, he was panicking. Panicking. I was like, well, there's nothing to do about it now. And then, like, obviously, I was chatting to Glenn Johnson about it after the game. We was laughing about it and stuff, but it was just one of them things where, like, at the time, because I was so in tune in the game and scoring a goal against Liverpool, I was like, yeah, buzzing. Yeah. That afterwards, it was just, everyone was talking about it, that I thought, well, bloody hell, like, maybe it was a big thing, because I think the rules of the game state that the referee should have stopped it and dropped ball or something, or something, like, but it was just, because it had never happened before, the ref didn't know what to do.
Fantastic.
Can you even imagine something like that now, where we've got Twitter and stuff now?
Twitter would have gone mental.
It would have
Imagine getting a VAR for that. It's definitely hit the beach ball. Looks like it's hit the beach ball. Anyway, whilst we are at half-time, we've got a little feature about the last time England won a trophy. No, not 1966, 1997.
Go on, the boys.
Le Tournoi.
22 summers ago, England were on a high, and for the first and only time in their history, were about to leave foreign soil with a trophy. We good?
Yeah, we're cool.
Okay.
Best tournament I've ever went to, this one.
Phil looks excited.
So does Piercy, yeah.
The pressure was off. It was a more enjoyable tournament to play in.
Where's Stuart Pearce? Has anyone seen him? I haven't seen him.
We stayed on a golf course, best golf course ever.
And here's a nice touch as well. The floors of the balconies are made of AstroTurf so the players can practice their putting.
Really good food, nice weather. What's not to like? It's like the perfect stag week, really.
Le Tournoi pitted England against Italy, hosts France, and world champions Brazil. Glenn Hoddle's side went into it in good form and popular with the public.
Coming out of Euro '96, there was a real euphoria. You think about where England are now, it was a similar period of a young, fresh team, new manager, young manager.
We had youthful exuberance. We had a few old heads, you know, and it's sprinkled with leadership, I think, as well.
The opening game was a 1-1 draw between France and Brazil. It gave us the moment Le Tournoi is best remembered for.
It's a 30-yard free kick with a 20-yard run-up.
We were all sat round watching this, I think, on television and just couldn't believe it.
And the next day we went onto the training ground and Glenn Hoddle had us all practising that technique of trying to bending it round the wall, Deschamps there on the end of the wall, and just caught it right on the valve, apparently.
Next up, it was England's turn. A first win over Italy in 2 decades, orchestrated by a man making his full debut.
Scholes.
What a pass this is, by the way, coming up.
Not a trace of nerves. And it's his pass that has Ian Wright moving on to it! England have taken the lead!
What a fantastic piece of skill.
Over the climate, Ian Wright's flourishing and Scholes!
So a decent start then for him.
Paul, that was quite an England full debut for you.
Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It was nice to make a goal and score a goal.
Oh, Scholesy, didn't want to do that interview, Scholesy then.
To take command of the tournament, England would have to beat the basis of a side who would go on to win the following year's World Cup.
Where we left the pitch after the Italy game thinking we've played really well and we've won, that felt a bit more of a smash and grab, really.
And they've got players flooding into the centre. Sheringham's cross, and it deflected. Oh, and a goal for Alan Shearer!
Now, you two both started the game tonight.
No. Oh, no. Was that me?
Does it help you, Philip, when Gary's, and particularly close to you on that right-hand side?
I was really close to Gary. I think we're a good partnership.
We make a lot out of it.
Don't be that good.
Oh, Gary cracking the jokes.
The game of the competition came the next night as Brazil drew 3-3 with Italy.
Romario with the equaliser! Would you believe it?
A result that meant with a game to spare, England were champions. Tournament 1, England finished by taking on a star-studded Brazilian side themselves.
How good were they? Well, too good for me, as you're about to see. I thought I was going to get a tackle in here, and then boom, it's gone.
England in trouble, and a goal down. Scores against England.
Nevertheless, the trophy was in English hands.
What did it mean to win it? Yeah, we were very proud. It gave us confidence.
When you hear that it's the only trophy England have won outside the UK, what's your reaction to that?
Disgraceful, really.
That is an alarming statistic, to be quite honest with you. And that's why this summer with the Nations League is going to be so vitally important for all of us.
It would be very special if we can go and win a trophy with England.
That was fantastic.
So
That
we have
VT
it.
was.
Dave, Le Tournoi, you're on this, remember?
I was 10, I think, Le Tournoi, 97.
Yeah, do you remember it vividly?
I do. I remember that massively, yeah. I remember Euro 96.
Scholes made his full debut in that tournament.
He did, and Ian Wright scored an absolute
that was from a Scholesy ball,
beautiful goal. Yeah, it was. And then it was actually right to Scholesy for his goal.
It was. Did you ever play with Paul Scholes?
No, I missed him.
Did you train with him?
No, I played against him though.
Oh, was he a nightmare? Because everybody raves about Scholesy, but like he doesn't get the plaudits of a Gerrard or Lampard.
Well, I remember playing this one particular game against Man United. I was at Spurs. We went 2-0 up first half at Old Trafford, cruising, battered Man United first half. Second half, they went 4-2-4 formation. So they went the back four. They had Carrick and Scholes, just two quarterbacks. Then they had Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez, Berbatov. Mate, we got beat 5-2. 5-2. Rooney, Berbatov, Tevez.
Chaos.
Chaos, absolute chaos.
I bet you were just berating your defenders as well, going, tie it up, tie it up.
Wow.
You just sat there watching, just going,
some beach balls,
second half, I remember at the other end watching, just thinking, wow, like this is the level that people need to get to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just like masterclass.
Was Cristiano the best player you ever played against?
It's a tough one because when I played against Man United, yes, he was very good, but he wasn't the Cristiano that we all know now.
Yeah.
But if you talk about best player I played against, like Kaká, I played against Kaká when he was at the peak of his powers, and he was wow. Like, that was England, Brazil, and Qatar. When we got battered, I think it was like 20% possession to us, and to them, so they were good. But then as a team, we played Spain at Wembley. Do you remember we won 1-0?
Yeah.
Somehow
I do remember that.
Somehow we won 1-0. But
Who
mate,
scored that night?
for Lampard.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we
they battered us as well.
Oh my! Iniesta, Xavi, Fabregas. You couldn't get the ball off them.
That's where they played with like 7 midfielders, wasn't it? And they just didn't play with a forward. They just passed you to death. That was like pomp of Spain's prowess. Harry Kane is walking out of the tunnel. You've just missed him on your shot there, but I can assure you he is coming on for England. There he is. He's got the armband as well.
Raheem, give us that back, mate.
He's taking off.
Raheem.
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
There's no Rashford hasn't come out second half. So Rashford obviously picking up that ankle injury off big Denzel Dumfries. Remember the name? Looked like a pretty nasty collision. So Harry Kane, assuming the armband, does that mean we change setup?
Well, I mean, I would like to have seen Callum Wilson come on before, because now you'd like to think, obviously now they can keep the same formation, but if Callum Wilson comes off, they're going to have to change the whole shape, because Callum Wilson can't play wide, neither can Harry Kane.
Yeah.
So I think if they'd have gone with Callum Wilson first, maybe, just to see, let him get some minutes. You know what I mean? Like, we all know what Harry Kane can do. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But maybe Gareth is just thinking that they're winning, get him 45 minutes now. If they get to the final, then he can go.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it ties into what you were talking about earlier with Sterling and Sancho bombing down the wings. If Kane's dropping in a little bit better, especially with Dumfries on a yellow. Get at him!
Get at Big Double D, Dunkin' Donuts Dumfries. I mean, got a hammer at him in the second half. If I was Gareth, I would genuinely have said to target him. Like, I feel like we haven't made enough either of Daley Blind, his lack of speed versus a Raheem Sterling and Sancho. Trouble is with Daley, he's so intelligent, I think.
Go on, Fabian.
Makes up for a lot of his shortcomings athletically. Oh, tried it, didn't he? But it just failed completely.
This Holland team, to me, watching them now, feels like they're very much like Holland of old, where they do like very flat to deceive.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? They're all technically brilliant,
class
but can't put it all together.
Yeah, when they had the Robins and the Van Persies and stuff like that.
Even before that, you think 98 when it was like Bergkamp, Seedorf.
Yeah, didn't quite work. Let's get some questions then. Start this second half. What are the people saying at home?
It's a serious question, but is football coming home? But on a serious note, Euro 2020. At Wembley, the final, Darren.
And the semi.
And the semi. Is it our time?
We've got a chance. You sort of get carried away with what's going on. I mean, listen, they were brilliant in the World Cup, but again, you've got to be a realist. I know people don't like to hear it, but listen, England were on the other side of the board. Do you know what I mean? You look at that other side where France had to go through Belgium, Argentina, to go through everyone. England obviously did what they needed to do, but at the same time, listen, they put themselves in a great chance, but there's some still powerful teams out there.
I think this is why this little tournament here is so important, because this is like winning when it matters. It's not friendly. It's not a qualifier against, I don't know, like Bosnia or something. Like there is a trophy at the end of this. If we can beat Holland tonight, hopefully beat Portugal. It's that winning mentality when it actually matters, and I think it will help tremendously in the summer if they can actually pick up this tournament now?
Yeah, I think England's done a great chance at 2020. I think one of the biggest bonuses is I feel like Germany are pretty weak. I feel like Spain are probably in the course of a turnover of squad. Italy aren't there to be seen at the moment, are they? The Dutch are struggling. Like, the only real challenger for us, I feel like, is France.
France
like,
is amazing.
France are obviously outrageous.
Yeah, Belgium.
But even like Belgium, like I feel like Belgium are a little bit like the Netherlands, like some superstars.
Yeah, we can't put it together. Yeah.
You could unpick a Roberto Martinez Belgium.
Yeah, 100%. Despite the fact, you know, you've got your Eden Hazards and your Lukaku's and all this type of players, they just can't gel.
They can't gel, but still, they beat us twice or once. And it's just whether we're good enough to stop them.
Do you know what they really remind me of? They remind me of England's golden generation, where they have so many superstars, but it just doesn't fit. Like, there's like square pegs going in round holes, like Vertonghen's playing at left back, or Lukaku's playing a little bit wide to accommodate Hazard, and Hazard's not quite working.
I think that game against Japan in the World Cup, they were like seconds away from going out, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. And I know they turned us over twice.
That was like BTEC games.
But yeah, I mean, the
group stage,
neither of them mattered, really. Like the third place playoff and an unimportant
it's the only game
one in the group.
England I've been to was that. Really disappointing.
Whatever.
Went to Kaliningrad.
Just
to see a BTEC game.
Do you know, I was meant to go to Kaliningrad, but the engines failed on the plane.
Honestly, same shit, mate.
Luckily, I was with another brand who like sorted it out, and I ended up going England-Colombia, which wasn't a bad replacement game. Instead,
that was
slightly better.
I remember watching that with MOS. It was a fantastic night.
Did you?
What was the score?
That was when we went for a pen.
One on penalties. It was mental.
Yeah, unbelievable. And they scored in the last minute, and you thought they were going to win it.
I ended up jumping on Husky's back, and we were just going mental. Like, we're proper
he could carry a day.
Was that when Chris Hamilton
he is so big.
Is he?
Like, he is a very broad man.
He's massive.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
Huge.
Stand.
Darren, what were you doing for World Cup parties? Did you have any standout moments?
I was over in Portugal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was over.
Go on.
I was over in
His chance.
He's on.
Raheem, cut it back. Oh, Raheem!
Save,
Raheem managed to get in behind the Dutch defence and tried to dink it over the top of Cillessen, but it wasn't to be. I don't know whether he was actually offside, because obviously VAR... I think he might have just been off.
Handball? Which one do you want in?
England are putting on some pressure. Chance for Raheem Sterling and a chance for Ross Barkley in quick succession.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I think England have definitely started the second half a lot better than where they ended the first, so it's very positive signs, Joe.
Southgate in the changing room, giving him a bit of a batter. I can't imagine Southgate like getting angry though.
Yeah. No, me neither.
Did you ever experience managers that were like that, just wouldn't get angry even when you were like losing 2-3-0? You were just kind of like placid and be like, well.
Gerard Houllier was a bit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a bit like
man manager.
Yeah, just kind of talk to you and just like let you know what was going on. I used to think Alan Kirbishley was like that till one particular game he absolutely lost it.
Yeah. What happened?
Curbs, we played. Who did we play?
Bloody hell,
Portsmouth.
You played Portsmouth, yeah.
1-0 down at half time, we're playing like crap as well. And he comes in at half time and everyone's sitting there and he doesn't usually, he just talks about it. He just lost it. Lost it like F this and F
Did it mean a little bit more because it was from him?
That's the thing, I guess.
Yeah, and he called out because he called out a few people as well.
Mark Fish getting on the end of it.
Nah, he deaf by then, but he was there, but he'd gone by then. He was like, Benny, you've scored a few goals, so you think you can do this, and Luke Young, you got an international cap, so you think you can do that. He went ballistic, and then we come out second half, we won 2-1.
Oh, amazing!
It worked, but it was just like whoa, because he never does it. Everyone was like, Jesus, like Curbs, because he's Cockney as well.
Finish! Chance, Maguire! Oh, the ball was chipped in by Sancho, I think.
What's he trying to do?
And then I don't know, Maguire's totally mishit it on the edge of the box, and it's just gone all over the gaff. But either way, I can't imagine Kirbishley exploding like that.
Honestly, he lost it.
Saved it for that one moment.
Yeah, lost it.
Yeah, but that's I guess.
Oh no, Memphis has got him behind England here. He's onto the brilliant tackle by Ben Chilwell.
Really good defending.
I don't know whether it's Bergwijn's not happy. He wants a penalty, but the ref's waving it away.
He needs to simmer down. What? No, you're not. What's he? VAR in here?
Bergwijn.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wait, he's clumsy, lads. I'm not being funny. VAR might have a little look at this. Bergwijn, does he get there first?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, VAR.
Is it in the box?
Was it in or was it out? Because I think VAR might be very, very interesting.
Play on.
Get it on, Pickford. Let's get the next phase going.
Get it out.
Picky, kick it! Why is he not kicking it?
Out. Right,
very lucky.
Well done,
Great tackle from Chilwell. I think we can all agree there.
That felt like a penalty to me. I'm not going to lie. I think it was on the line as well.
Oh, well done.
To be fair, if Switzerland are getting a penalty last night for what they did, that's definitely a penalty.
Yeah, and that was clumsy by Chilwell. At the time, we were all like, brilliant tackle. That covering tackle. Yeah. But no, I think it was pretty clumsy. Kyle Walker, has he just pulled up? No. What he's doing there. Oh, Sancho is outrageous. He's such a neat footballer, isn't he?
He's just so positive as well. Like, he's always trying to just move forward. He's never trying to look backwards or sideways.
He always likes it in tight areas as well. That's what I always like. Like, he's not a classic winger that's really
on, then, hit
pacey.
that. Little low driver, Fizzer.
Little low driver, Fizzer.
Go on. Raheem Sterling trying to take his man on at the byline, but it's not to be. Van Dijk.
Sancho.
Tell me what to do when he's giving back the armband. That's
Van Dijk can't stop the corner.
That's a little petty from Kane. What do you think?
From Harry Kane. Talking of Harry Kane, we've apparently got a price boost. The big man. Obviously just come on. Harry Kane to score the second goal, 11-2. The odds are accurate at the time of recording and subject to change. Remember, you've got to be over 18 to gamble. See skybet.com for the latest T's and C's as well.
Here's Maguire.
That was actually lovely, Joe.
This could be one of yours here. I could feel a Maguire corner. Van Dijk fairly needlessly giving it away. Looks like it's Chilwell who's going to be swinging in a left-footed delivery.
Harry Kane.
It's floated. Get up, Maguire! He's climbing, but it's not to be. Headed clear by the Dutch, and now they're breaking away.
That, wasn't it? Oh, nice,
Raheem Sterling, brilliant. Plays it back out wide to Chilwell, who's just kept it in. Now he can set himself. Fabian Delph crosses the ball. Great chance, got me a goal! Oh, my word.
Sancho.
Brilliant cross into the box by Fabian Delph, and Sancho has missed a sitter of a header from 6 yards out. No marker.
Scored, I think.
Got to score. Talk us through it, Darren. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he had to score there? Felt like he had to score to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to score. He's in the 6-yard box, but he's hit the target. He's not missed the target, but he'd be disappointed. Obviously, you talk about Sancho's game, you wouldn't say at the top of the list is heading.
Yeah, it's the lowest.
Do you know what I mean? But what a ball from Delphi, but...
Weak foot as well, or is he a lefty?
No, he's a lefty.
He's a lefty.
To be fair, England have come out the second half,
playing really well.
Holland...
All over the space. Yeah, I think England definitely started the second half better. But again, they've had a nightmare.
Who was that?
Memphis Depay stolen off Kyle Walker. He's hammered it. Brilliant save by Jordan Pickford.
Who was that? What defender was that?
Kyle Walker, all over the place, getting robbed of the ball on the edge of his own area by Memphis Depay, trying to play out from the back. Memphis Depay having a shot from distance. Took it a little bit too early for me.
Yeah, me too. Like, he should have got at least another 2 yards, and do you know what I mean?
And then trying a ridiculous acrobatic and mugging himself right off in the process. That was proper Man United Memphis, that overhead. That summed his career up nicely. But Kyle there, all over the place.
I just think with Memphis, he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's just relaxed and it'll come to him. I mean, I was thinking first half, maybe he was looking at the other end, Rashford, obviously, their old teammates. Rashford's playing centre forward. He's thinking, well, I want to show him that I should still be there, but he should just calm himself down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Let's get some questions from the fans then. What are the people saying? England fans must be happy with the start of the second half, Will?
Fantastic performance by England. Everyone's looking forward to it as well. One of the guys here, Red Devils fan 7, he says, how is James Maddison not in this England squad? Well, he's in the under-21s, but do we agree with the approach of Gareth, bleeding these youngsters?
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's worked perfectly over the last few years, isn't it, for Gareth? He's let him play. Minutes is better than sitting on the bench here, isn't it? Or playing 60 minutes.
And obviously getting obviously if the 21s can go and win the 23s can go and win the tournament, that's another trophy. So the youngsters that keep winning trophies, you get some ready, get some tournament ready.
Yeah, exactly. And that's clearly paying dividends for our whole squad. Like Wan-Bissaka's there as well. Wan-Bissaka's probably had a better season than anybody other than Trent, really, this year, and can't get in this squad because he's at the under-21s. So I think it's a good decision from Gareth, and I think he should stick by his way of playing because that's what worked for him for the first year. That's what worked for him when he was in charge of that setup.
I feel like he is one of the first managers in a while that looks like he's got full reins. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Where he can pretty much do what he wants to do. Other managers, you can tell they're a little bit tired. Like people have got in their cases like, he's injured, but you need to take him. Well, I'll take him then. Whereas he looks like they've gone, you know what? You just go and do whatever you want to do, and we'll back you.
Even with the media, like the way remember when they did the NFL style interviews before the World Cup, and the way he's turned that around, it's great to see.
Yeah, I really liked as well. Obviously, Raheem Sterling's the leak happened about his captaincy. I really like how Raheem Sterling... Oh, it's brilliant on the outside by Kane.
Could have done this 3 days
Kane,
ago.
where was that gas? Like, that's the first time I've ever seen...
Ref, come on, he's all over him!
No, that's good defending. Double D, Denzel Dumfries.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's everywhere, Double D.
Dunkin' Donuts, I know, popping up absolutely everywhere. Probably at a big club near you.
It's 3 minutes past 9. Do you want to go and watch Love Island?
Yeah, apparently Love Island has started, so
Cheers,
me
guys.
and Brazier are off. No, we're not. We will stay for England, but luckily, Sky Plus. Yeah,
you've got 4 TVs in, so you can't get one
can we not
there?
get Love Island on one of them? I really have to see whether Lucy picks Joe or Tommy. Can we get some confirmation?
I'm just waiting. I will get that in my ear and update you. We get a little price boost on Tommy going over.
Yeah, let's get some price boost on Joe versus Tommy situation. Darren did say before kickoff that he doesn't watch it, and I was disgusted. Absolutely shocking scenes. If you are watching at home, let us know in the comments below. Jules, try screen in England, Football Social, Love Island.
I mean, look, the game's on 3 TVs.
Just no need for it. There's 4-1 up there as well. Yeah. Let's get some more questions then. What are the people saying?
Josh Purvey says, should I be excited about this competition? I want to be, but I don't know if it's worth the hype. To see England lift the trophy, Joe, surely that's worth everything.
Well, it's also, this is the last bit of football for a month, so yeah, you might as well just try and appreciate it.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, even a week off, I'm getting a bit...
Yeah, I'm pretty, I would be happy. I wouldn't be like street parties.
Would you not?
No.
It's a step forward.
Yeah, I agree.
Step forward.
True, that's true.
What level of celebration would you go to? Not a street party?
No, just like
out,
yes, we've won a trophy now. Let's move on to the next one. Do you know what I mean? Like
little casual
pre-drinks. That's a professional's attitude. I went night out probably. See, that's like the two mentalities there. Like concentrate next one. Now have a few beers and celebrate that way. But yeah, I kind of see your point. I think it's just good to get some silverware in the bank, isn't it? Like that's what kick-started City when they won that League Cup. Do you remember that League Cup? Everybody was like, oh, it's nothing. But I feel like that was the sort of thing that kick-started them into just winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. And that's what England have got to do, and we haven't done ever. So, also, it's the first time anyone will have ever won it, because it's the first tournament. This could, in 10 years' time, this could be better than the World Cup, and everybody's going, remember the Nations League?
I'd rather watch this than, as I said, that friendlies, because some of them friendlies.
Absolute snooze.
Even that game at Croatia, which was a friendly but UEFA Nations League, I was well invested. That 2-1 turnaround, fantastic.
I think it's also as well like you could see like City and Liverpool winning trophies for the next 3-4 years. So any of the players that are not in them 2 squads, would actually be a trophy for them to win. Like so it'd be good for them to get a bit of experience winning a few things.
I've just been informed, by the way, best odd of the night. Joe and Lucy is a Sky Bet price boost. 5-2. Joe and Lucy, get your money down.
Where's my phone? Get it.
Obviously, odds are subject to change and accurate at the time record 18 plus. The usual T's and C's do apply. But all I'm saying is, get it up now.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
While you do that, though, let's just chat about how England have come out second half. 15 minutes into the game.
Dumfries.
I feel like England started well. Now the Dutch are starting to come back. Double D's starting to get more action out there. Like, clearly the danger man on that right-hand side.
Yeah,
what have you made of this second half, first 15?
I think England have come out, done really, really well, got on the front foot. I mean, last maybe 5 minutes, though, I'd have to say Holland, they're trying to pass it a bit more. But as of Holland, since Van Persie's stopped and Huntelaar, to be fair, they always seem to lack that cutting edge, that they'll get to a certain point and then you want a little bit of quality and they'll misplace a pass or overhit a pass. But England at the moment look fairly comfortable.
Yeah, the Dutch have got a corner now as well, so they'll be chucking the likes of De Ligt forward. We've seen how dangerous he is from set pieces in the Champions League, of course, because he was scoring goals for fun from corners. You remember that absolute decisive one? Well, it didn't turn out to be decisive against Tottenham, did it?
No.
Because they ended up coming back and winning, and Van Dijk as well. So this is a dangerous situation. Corner, but an awful delivery by Memphis Depay. In fact, there's been a foul in the middle, and it is an England free kick.
I feel that from Kyle Walker has actually given them an awful lot of encouragement.
Yeah, a bit of momentum.
Lingard.
Jesse Lingard coming on now.
He's been our best player.
Give him a round of applause.
Well, Sancho, he's been brilliant. He's been so positive. He's trying to
6 yards out, just straight
at least he's hit the target. It's not like he's blazed it over or something.
I mean, that's kind. Come on, even below. That is finding positives, because he has to score. Whatever happened, like, you don't ever see players do it, head it down. Like, even when I was a player, people were like...
When I was a player, here we go.
Sunday league coaches were like, head it down.
Yeah.
Surely professional levels are like, head it down. Or are they like, head it up?
No, do you know what? Yeah, you should head it down, but you'd be surprised how hard sometimes... If you don't regularly head the ball...
Yeah.
how hard it is to just all of a sudden just direct a header. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, Scholesy used to be so good at heading the ball as like, a small bloke. Like, one of the few small blokes. But Jesse Lingard has come on for Jadon Sancho. Looks like he's going to operate on that right-hand side. What have we made of Jesse Lingard's season? Because a lot of Man United fans are not happy. He is...
Let's ask you, because you're the United fan.
Well, for me, like, I feel like he's at his limit. Like he's 26, 27 now. Like, he's no longer that young player. I don't know whether he can get any better than he actually is now. So I don't blame him for the position he's in. And he obviously works hard and does a lot of good stuff off the ball. Denzel Dumfries. What's happening? Double D's taking one to the face. Can we confirm he's all right? Double D has taken one to the mouth. That's dangerous by Chilwell. Don't touch Double D. But yeah, Jesse Lingard, just to go back to him, I think he's really good off the ball, and I think that's a slightly underrated skill of his. Like, we saw it for England at the World Cup, and he links up play really well, but players have gone past him now. Like, he's a squad player.
Yeah, no United player has had a good season, all right? And I think, yeah, as you say, I think he is at his limit. I think he's playing at the level...
100%. 100%.
You know, he's a Man United squad player.
He knows that as well.
And that's what it is, like, yeah.
He shouldn't be a Man United starter.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with you, he has scored some massive goals for United.
Yeah,
Cup
finals.
Stamford Bridge. What a finish, you know what I mean? When I think for
Everton, some huge goals.
He has scored some really big goals for United. I think that's obviously bought him a lot of time.
More time, yeah.
But it is a tough one because, again, I don't think he's played particularly bad this season. I think he's done all right, Jesse. But he's just been caught up in the whole... Like, what a lot of these players at United...
Storm, yeah.
What a lot of these United players have got to be thankful for, really, is that Pogba's taken a lot of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because
Pogba takes it all.
He takes all of it, because some of them have been poor. Yeah. But obviously, because everything's aimed at him, they've kind of been able to hide behind him and kind of maybe take a little bit, but not too much, whereas Pogba just stood there and took it full faith.
And Jesse does take some flack as well. Like alongside, like, Pogba, I agree, takes the most of it. And then Jesse takes a lot as well, because he's also that sort of social media, like, he's quite busy, like, he makes a lot of jokes and he's quite jovial, and I think people take that...
If it's going well, it's great.
I think, yeah, exactly, and I think they take that as, like, a lack of professionalism.
No, and I get where you come from there, where they're more want to be Instagram famous rather than actually doing the work. But what I say is, what you've got to look at is that, OK, he does love Instagram, he loves all that social media, but when things are not going very well, he's still doing it. Yeah. When things are going really well, he does it. Do you know what I mean? So people can't criticise him saying, look at him, he doesn't care about the club, because, look, he's Instagramming when the team's losing, because he does it all the time anyway.
Yeah, and it's like a really interesting debate, because people are going... Oh, here's a chance for the Dutch. It falls on the edge of the area for the route. But no, it's cleared out by England. And people always like, oh, you know, you never seen Keane do that, or you never seen the old generations do that. Well, the old generations were at the pub 3 days a week. Jesse's at the gym 3 days a week. So, like...
That's very true.
Like, Roy Keane, everybody goes, you've never seen that out of Keano. Roy Keane was, like, arrested a week before an FA Cup final. So let's all calm down about, like, the professionalism back in, like, the 90s and early noughties.
Do you know what? I had Roy Keane as my coach at Villa.
What was he like?
And I really, really liked him, because what I liked about him is that you got what you saw. Do you know what I mean? Like, so there was no hiding anything. Yeah. Like, and if there was something he didn't like, he'd let it be known. Like, if training was the standard started off like crap, he'd tell you it was like crap. One thing he hated was that if he was in a room and you walked in and you didn't say morning to him or something, like, he'd lose his head, and that could put him off for the rest of the day, because he's just manners.
That's true.
It's true, though. It's just manners. Like,
he does feel like he's always on the edge of exploding.
Yeah, and, like, obviously, if we had a lot of French players at the time, and the French guys used to come into the boot room, but be talking in their, like, French language, blah, 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 and you could just see it. You know, you watch him, and you just see his head just like festering. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not talking to him. Like, as a coach, I really liked him. I thought he was a really good guy, and as I said, like, he never mixed his words, and he always said what he thought.
Do you think he'll go back to... Obviously, he's been doing a lot of assistant management. Do you think he'll go back to being number one? Had a good time at Sunderland, didn't he?
He did, to be fair. It is hard sometimes when you've been a top player like Roy Keane has. You expect certain standards, and obviously Lampard's been able to control it better, because obviously he's been a top player, but he's managed to understand and realise that players are not necessarily going to be able to get to the level that I played at. Yeah. And I think Roy Keane always struggled with that a little bit. Like, he'd think to himself, if a midfielder give off his 5-yard pass away, he'd be like, well, I don't get how you can do that. How can you give the ball away just to there?
And I really feel like that weighs heavy on a lot of that sort of level player, actually. Like, they're so used to training with the best in the world.
Yeah.
When they go and train with Derby or Sunderland.
It's like when we had Zola and he was about 55, apparently he was our best player at Birmingham. And
Do you know what I mean?
He was nearly collecting a pension.
He just couldn't get his head around, like, how can you make that decision? Like, I don't get how you can't pass to him there. Yeah. And I think that, in the end, that's obviously started to wind him up, so maybe he is more suited to number 2.
Yeah, I mean, Zola was an interesting one for you, though, wasn't it? Like, what happened with Zola, wasn't it? Didn't he, like, come in as some really rogue 11th hour?
No, we were 7th in the league.
Oh, yeah, and you got rid
of Gary Rowett, and then we finished 19th. No, stayed up on the last day because we had Harry Redknapp.
Oh, Harry Redknapp. You were managed by Harry. What are your thoughts towards Harry?
Listen, me and him kind of had a mixed...
I remember the little bit of
a mixed relationship, but since then, like, he came to Derby for a bit as well, and like, it's been fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, he made the comment, and a lot of people kind of blew it out of proportion. But Harry's going to be Harry. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, he made the comment, but he still played me, so I can't really.
Do you think it was blown out of proportion a little bit by certain areas of the media and stuff?
Yeah, because obviously the media love Harry. Do you know what I mean? He just won the jungle. Like, everyone loves him, don't they? So whatever he says, they're going to just jump on it, do you know what I mean? So at the time he said it, and obviously everyone jumped on it. But as I said, it was just one of them things that being Harry, just off the cuff.
It's probably something he'd say, like, in training, but because he did it in front of the press, it takes on a different sort of...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. If he said it in training, like, lads would have laughed about it, probably give me a bit of banter about it for a while. Because obviously he said that, it just, again, blew up. Do you know what I mean? Just like the beach ball. That happens in there, it goes... Same thing, he says that, and that happens.
Yeah, what did he, like, pull you to one side after that? Did he, like...
Not really, but as I said, because he played me after that again, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I scored quite a few goals. I think I was Spurs' top goal scorer that season. So it was just a weird one, but since then I've seen Harry at numerous things. Like, I've seen him at Soccer Aid. I said he came to Derby. And we laugh about it now. Like, I remember missing the chance in training. No, I scored a volley in training. He was like, oh, like Sandra wouldn't have been able to score that one. So it's Harry just being Harry, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he seems like quite a joker, doesn't he? Let's get some more questions then. What do people at home
Chance,
say?
head up, bam!
Here's a chance! Oh, the ball's whipped in from a free kick. John Stones getting on the end of it, about 8 yards out, but heading it wide. It's a great ball in by Ben Chilwell. I think Stones was on. I think Kane was off. And Stones and Kane just getting in each other's way.
Yeah, it's Kane's head.
Yeah, just getting in each other's way. Van Dijk nowhere to be seen. Like, Van Dijk and De Ligt have looked suspect, I have to say. Like, not been as solid as
I don't think Van Dijk's looked suspect, but you know when you've got that centre half next to you that's a bit ropey and you think, always out of position. It looks like he's...
Yeah.
Whereas him and Matip at Liverpool got quite a good understanding now, haven't they? Or him and Gomez, but...
And he's also really... He's got the best out of Robertson and TAA. England on the attack again here. Harry Kane sticks it across the box. Not great. Not great, I'll be honest.
Oh my God. That's got to be a booking.
Harry Kane has just absolutely clattered Daley Blind from behind. I don't think he meant to. I think he tried to kick the ball and it's just pelted. Not great. Not great. He's going to get booked for that, surely. Harry Kane. Just ugly. Just not particularly great. Did we get a question then, by the way? Did I just interrupt you?
No, so there's plenty of action going on. There's obviously lots of transfer rumours, gossip, guff going on. But one of the big stories at the moment, Christian Eriksen coming out in the Danish camp, saying he wants a new challenge. Will he be at Spurs? Will he be somewhere else? Madrid? Barcelona? Darren?
I think he's served his time at Spurs now. I think years. He's never threw his tours at the Prem, always played at a consistent level. And Chelsea have done the right thing by him by saying, you know what, we're not going to stand in your way. They've accepted a relatively low offer, as we've said, of 88 million. So you'd like to think, well, Spurs would go, you've done your time now, thanks for everything you've done, but now, yeah, you can move on. But me knowing Spurs the way I do and Daniel Levy, it's not going to be the case. Unless he gets 100 million, 120 million, Eriksen might just be there, which is why his comments, he didn't outright come out and say, like, I want to get out of here, I want to leave. Yeah. Just in case there's a good chance he could still be here.
Here's a chance. Memphis Depay into the area, well blocked.
There's going to be a good chance he's going to be there next season. He just kind of come out and said, well, maybe it's time I move on.
So do you think the comments he said, do you think they were very well kind of like crafted and thought about? So it was like he knew exactly what he was saying, so just in case he does end up at Spurs the next 2 seasons.
The fans won't go, okay. Do you know what I mean? It's well crafted.
What is Daniel Levy like? Because there's lots made about him in the press as being like a really tough negotiator, one of the toughest in world football, gets big bucks for players. But Christian's got a year left on his contract now.
Oh, is he? I didn't realise that.
So, like, if you're Daniel Levy, like, you've obviously worked with him and been around him, what's he like in that sort of situation?
Do you know what? When obviously I want to. When I wanted to leave and he made it quite difficult for me to go, he was demanding the money. It's because he kind of believed in me, but since I've left Spurs and looked back at Spurs and how they do their business and stuff, it's only because he cares about Spurs and he's always going to do right by Spurs, and that's what you can ask your own to be. Yeah. So, like, if he feels that a deal will not make sense, he won't do it. He'll be stubborn as he can. Like, listen, Bale, he got a world record fee for Bale before he let him go. Modric was asking to leave, to go to Real Madrid for about 3 seasons before he eventually let him go.
Really?
Yeah, so he is a good owner as regards to... For players, probably not, because he makes it difficult. But as regards to Spurs and hold on to their best players, like, people are like, oh, I'll worry if they lose their best players like Dele Alli and Harry Kane. But he'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, like, they're all locked down as well.
Exactly, they've got 5 to 6 years. If Dele Alli wants to go, someone better come and pay 150 million, or you'll have him sitting there for 4 or 5 years and it will not faze him.
I feel like Christian Eriksen, like, if they're going to lose any of those players, like Christian, potentially the most replaceable. Like, if you're going to let him go to Madrid, go, OK, I want James in return, or I want Isco in return. Like, I think if you're going to let him go, because he's only got that 1 year left, I don't think Spurs are in the position where they can take 0 for Christian Eriksen. No. Just because the stadiums come out of their pockets.
You're probably right in what you said, though. If they can somehow factor in...
Oh, goal! Corner swung in. Matthias de Ligt meets it 6 yards out. Header, goal.
This doesn't go to penalties, does it?
Yeah.
Does it go directly to penalties?
What time's your cab booked for?
It goes to extra time and penalties, yeah. But the ball is swung in. Matthias de Ligt, we've seen him do it in the Champions League over and over this season. Massive frame, just a huge blow.
I think John Stones must get blocked because he...
Oh, he's blocked by his own man.
Oh, your guy. Is that your guy there? No. Is it?
Is that DD?
Yes,
double D. But yeah, de Ligt just climbing. He's just a monster to handle, isn't he? Obviously, 6'3", but he's so wide.
On the post, that's clear.
Great header at the near post, and Pickford's just stranded. Absolutely stranded. What does that mean for the game now? 1-1. The Dutch tails up.
Fair. The last, it is, they've been playing around the Dutch, haven't they? This second half, I was just saying there that they were doing some nice stuff, but cutting edge wasn't really there. Maybe that was their best avenue of a goal, was maybe a set play. But listen, now it's about England. I think they're going to make a few changes. I think they need to now maybe freshen up a little bit. They maybe need to get on Jordan Henderson. What's that is? Maybe get on Jordan Henderson now. I think because
Delph's struggling, isn't it?
We should never have took Sancho off, man.
I really feel like Delph's struggling.
Lingard's done nothing.
Sancho coming off was bizarre.
I forgot he came on.
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah,
mad, isn't it?
Yeah, like, where is is Jesse playing wide right? Where is he playing?
Is that a bit of volume?
He's on that far side. We've got a bit of volume here. Darren got excited for about 2 seconds there. Bit of atmosphere, because it is just deadly silent in the studio.
It is, I can hear it.
That's nice, that's good.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, excited. Yeah, so you're buzzing off it.
It'd be great if it was just the Love Island just pumping through.
I've got a text. But yeah, I agree. I think England's changes have actually slowed them down somewhat. I think like Kane's struggled a little bit. Lingard looks lost, and the Dutch are really starting to put stuff together now.
Don't want to bring
especially now with a goal, isn't they?
Yeah. I think Jordan Henderson needs to come on in the middle of the park, or Dyer, just someone in there that can get a foothold in the ball. But you need legs in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you do. I feel like Delph's struggled at times. I really feel like Barkley's been invisible as well. But I can't remember a single time Barkley's driven. Now is meant to great tackle by Fabian Delph. Fabulous tackle.
Is Declan Rice still playing?
Yeah, Declan Rice is still playing. Like, I can't remember a single time Barkley's driven us forward.
Look at Delph in the middle of the thing, trying to get forward.
Struggling. He just hasn't played minutes, has it? No. Like, this is the trouble. Like, that's sloppy by Lingard.
He is so fit as well, Delph.
Go on, then.
Yeah, so fit. Yeah, super fit.
Come on, then, swing one in, Chilwell. Oh, it's just, that's not, like, we're swinging it in towards Sterling there. Like, you want Kane on the end of that. But equally, now the Dutch are quite deep. It's getting a little bit more end-to-end now, this game, which is quite good. It's opened up. That big goal has really opened it up. Let's get some questions from the people at home then, while England are putting together some attacks.
Yes, one for you, Darren. I know it's very hard to call, but who was your favourite club you played for? Or what are some of your favourite spells? Because I don't want to put you on the spotlight.
No, it's fine. Like, I'll always look back at my Ipswich Town days. Obviously, I came through the youth system there. Like, I'll always...
Was that when they were up in the Prem?
Yeah, so like...
the UEFA Cup?
Yeah, I scored my first goal in Europe. It was, Ipswich Town. I always look back with fond memories. I mean, I got into the team in the squad the year after they finished 5th. And it was just an unbelievable place to be. I mean, at the time they were breeding youngsters for fun. Like, youngsters were just coming through. I mean, there'd been Kieran Dyer, Titus Bramble came from Richard Wright, James Grokoff. There was loads. The conveyor belt was massive. This kept coming through. So I love my time there. I really enjoy my time at
shoot!
At Charlton as well. Really look back at my time there.
Who was in that Charlton team? Because that was like...
we had a team, like, it was like Danny Murphy.
Matty Holland.
Matty Holland, what a name.
Yeah, Alexis Smertin, Dennis Romerdal.
Alexis Smertin, we had him for a bit.
Yeah, Dennis Romerdal, the fastest man I've ever seen on a football
Dennis
pitch.
Romerdal?
The fastest guy you've ever seen on a football pitch, I swear. Like, sometimes people used to roll in the ball, he'd have a bad touch, he'd go over his head and he'd just spin and he's gone.
Literally don't suspect that at all, but equally, you shouted, Darren, good call. Henderson is coming onto the pitch for Fabian Delph, who has clearly been struggling last 10 minutes with fitness maybe, but where's Hendo going to play? He's going to play alongside Rice and then Barkley's going to go a little bit more advanced?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think they need to get a 3 in there. I was chatting to Hendo the other day after the Champions League final.
Clank.
And we just obviously talk about old times, obviously playing at Sunderland and that, but I never ever thought he'd turn out to be the leader that he is.
No? Really?
Yeah, like, I always knew he'd go far in the game because he's probably one of the most professional. So I'd be like, I can't bother with this. He's still out there stretching, doing everything that he needs to do.
Yeah.
But for him to turn to the leader that he has done, I mean, for Liverpool and England itself, it's been brilliant. So for me, he'll probably just...
Chance here. Memphis has put it wide. It's Denzel Dumfries. Should have scored. Denzel Dumfries cuts it back to Van der Beek, who has just skied a volley from 7 yards out into Rosette. Denzel Dumfries is a dodgy ball, but that finish is even worse.
I keep laughing. Every time
Denzel Dumfries, Van der Beek. He's had a great season for Ajax, over 20 goals and assists. Just couldn't put it in the back of the net.
Have we got any subs left? No, we haven't.
I think England have used their subs, right?
You get like a 4th if it goes to extra time.
Kane.
Does it go extra time or straight depends?
I don't know. Can you have a word with the chore dog?
Extra time, Darren.
I think it does go extra time, and then it goes to pens, unfortunately for you, Darren.
No, I don't mind it, do you know what I mean? But sometimes you think in these kind of internationals, it just goes straight to pens.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what they've started doing in the League Cup.
Yeah. In the early rounds.
The early rounds are straight to penalties.
I'll tell you what, and we take penalties now.
Would you? I think England still stand a chance of
winning.
winning.
No, I mean, if it went to penalties, we'd take it. We wouldn't have the fear anymore.
Oh, no, we absolutely will have the fear.
I don't know about... You know what? Certain teams you'll come up against and you'll go, yeah, definitely. This Dutch team, they've got a lot of technically very good players.
Yeah. Slot it in the side net. Side net. What would be your sort of routine penalty shootout?
Go on, Jet.
Go on, Raheem, run at him. Slips it in, Harry Kane!
Oh, what a tackle.
Who was that?
De Ligt second half.
Yeah, De Ligt just suddenly turned his game up about 5 levels after that howler in the first half. And now the Dutch are breaking.
It's almost like he was a good player.
Yeah, it's almost like he's only 19, you know, and will be prone to the odd mistake.
That is lovely from Memphis.
Look at that, from Memphis. That's a Denzel Dumfries. Get in, Denzel! I'm just supporting the player.
Where's the back four?
Oh, well done. Walker. And Kyle. But yeah, Denzel Dumfries causing a madness down that right-hand side. It's just uncontrollable, big double D, isn't it?
You're like you've single-handedly got him a move to the Prem after this.
You just can't get MOM after this.
There's not a man alive that can handle that double D.
Yep, good man.
Absolutely incredible. It really is incredible. Let's get some more questions then from the people at home. What do they say?
Oliver Boyson says, how good will Frankie de Jong be?
Oh, best central midfielder in the world, 5 years.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Just outrageous.
What sort of centre mid is he?
Busquets.
Every type of centre mid you want.
Is it?
Like Busquets?
I think he's more... I think he can go past people better than Busquets. Like, whenever I watch De Jong, his dribbling is the best asset in his game. Like, I've seen him pick the ball up on the edge of his 6-yard box and end up on the edge of their 6-yard box at times. Like, that's... I haven't seen it from very many central midfielders. He's like a really modern type. Like, I saw all of the Dutch old boys... that were in the 70s and 80s comparing him to like Franz Beckenbauer as being this sort of player that picks the ball up quite deep and then suddenly 3 touches and he's on the edge of your area and you don't know what's happened. And I just feel like at Barcelona he's probably going to be at the start played alongside Busquets, and then as Busquets phases out, he'll play that role by himself. And it's just an unbelievable bit of business by them to get him so early and so
cheap
young.
as well, wasn't it? There wasn't that much,
like
was it?
70 million. I mean, it's
not cheap.
But that is quite cheap for some of the...
Like, if he goes on the field's potential,
they signed Dembele for 140. They signed Coutinho for 140. Like, Coutinho now at 140 is looking like a mess of a signing.
Yeah. Even Dembele, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Go on.
At least Dembele's got like a bit more age on his side. I think, how old is Coutinho now? 26, 27?
Where do we think he'll be going?
Well, I would have said Chelsea.
If they didn't have the ban.
Yeah.
It'd been a nice replacement for Eden Hazard, I think, Coutinho.
I thought Chelsea could have did maybe something in Madrid for Bale. I thought maybe at one stage.
Yeah, but it's just
what in the swap. They're allowed to bring players in. I know they can't pay anyone, can't they?
No, they can't bring anyone in.
Leave it.
Can't register any new players. So they've just got the loanees to bring back, and they've got the option to make Kovacic permanent.
That's it, literally.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, they're going to have to, aren't they?
I think they will make Kovacic permanent. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't. But it's just like a disaster. Like, Coutinho has no suitors.
Maybe like PSG?
Not like, because they want 100 million.
That's what I mean. That's the
like.
only team that could probably afford him.
I wouldn't take him at United. I don't think any of the top Premier League clubs would take him because he's just a difficult player to fit into your system unless you play a 10.
Well, Liverpool wouldn't be the same if they kept him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And they spent that money so well.
Yeah. He's not dynamic enough.
Yeah, let's get some more questions then. Razia, what's happening?
Darren, your dream five-a-side team, front to back from the players that you've played with.
Goalkeeper. I'm going to go... Who did I play with goalkeeper with?
You know, you mentioned Richard Wright earlier.
Yeah.
He's had a career, hasn't he?
Yeah. I think, is he still not on the bench for Manchester City now?
Well, he's not the coach. He was in the celebrations.
Yeah.
He's always in the celebrations.
He is.
Goalkeeper's a toughie.
He was a good keeper, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a really good... Went to Arsenal, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you have Spurs?
Brad
Friedel? No.
Fried.
There's a chance he's in!
Finish!
Raheem Sterling!
Yes! Get in, Jesse!
Jesse Lingard in behind, scoring the important goals.
10 minutes to go, massive goal, we can all go home early.
Jesse Lingard, is he onside? Is he onside? Yeah! Jesse Lingard sneaks in behind, lovely fed ball. We haven't seen the replay yet, so I'm not sure who it was from.
That was a lovely finish.
It was Raheem Sterling.
None of that, though,
it was Jesse Lingard just sneaking in off the line. He's barely touched the ball since he's been on the pitch.
This is England trying to play out from the back. Fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's from one end to the other. Pickford out to Chilwell. Chilwell carries the ball 30, 40 yards, slips it into Sterling.
Oh, lovely touch.
Barkley plays.
Offside. It's got to be on.
He's offside.
No, the one over there.
Double D's playing him up.
It's Double D is playing him right
I think they might well be going to VAR.
I think he's offside.
It looked to me like he was offside.
I thought it was like Double D.
I thought Double D. The ball through to him, and he's, to me, just offside.
I think Double D's playing him.
Double D. Yeah, honestly, that player.
I think he's.
Ref, come on.
You know what they need here? They need that like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. For
On the
me,
screen.
Like, we've only seen one replay, but it looked like his head was just offside. We're going to see that VAR replay with the lines, I'd imagine, in just a second. But brilliant play by England.
It really was.
To me, that angle we saw, it looked offside, but...
Same.
He might have a cab booked as well, the ref, so he might, do you know what I mean?
Come on, not like this. That's probably the greatest goal we've ever scored.
That was a great goal. Front to back, Chilwell carrying the ball. Great touch by Sterling. Barkley, any chance? This is the problem with VAR to a level, isn't it? Like let's have a look. Let's have a look. Show us, the watching audience at home, because I want to know what's going on. And it's even worse in the stadium when you don't have the instant replays. Like, I've been in the stadiums with VAR and you haven't got a clue.
His body looked like he was offside to me.
I thought it was his head. Like, he looked like he was leaning, and Jesse was, like, proper on the edge. Proper on the edge of offside. VAR, he's offside. Oh, no! He's offside. He's not been given. It's reversed. Jesse is offside. Great goal by England. Ruled out.
Called it straight away.
You did, yeah, fair play. But I will say now, let's get rid of VAR.
Yeah. Why are we not getting replays of that?
Yeah, we should be getting a replay. We didn't get a replay as the watching audience. I don't know whether you guys got a replay at home. Let us know in the comments below if you managed to see a replay of that. But it felt like they didn't show anything.
What I hate about that as well is that Jesse's nice celebration, all that, everyone's buzzing, fans are going crazy.
Flat.
Yeah.
I think that will give Holland
momentum.
That will give the Dutch a little bit of impetus as well. I feel like
such a good goal as well.
It's just the sort of thing that really hurts you. Dumfries is on the outside of him as well. Here, danger man.
Oh my God, Memphis.
It's Dumfries.
Handball! That's handball!
Bergwijn has spooned it.
That's
VAR,
handball.
that looks really handball-y.
That's handball.
85th minute.
Just play on quickly.
Giving it.
Eight VAR, ate it.
They're going VAR now. England have had a goal chalked out at one end for VAR. It's gone up. What level? What are you on about? You've seen a replay of the Lingard one. He looked level to me. Bergwijn's cut it back. No, come on. That's never a handball. Can never be given as a handball.
How is he onside for that? He's about...
That is ridiculous.
He's level.
Lingard was onside there.
Yeah.
Lingard was level.
What's offside there?
What is offside there? If you're watching something different to us, Lingard was onside.
If he's a size 5 feet, he's onside.
I think he's onside. He looks onside.
No, give us a replay.
Give us a replay. I don't think this is a penalty, by the way. He looked like he slid and it's hit his arm.
Yeah, but
here we go.
If they've said it's out the silhouette, won't they? Whatever.
Oh, he's back.
What are we waiting for?
Bergwijn's absolutely spooned this chance, by the way. It's a great effort, like great chance, and he's awful finish, but it's never, ever, ever a penalty kick.
If he gives us a pen.
I've just regressed.
If he gives this as a pen, I'm walking out. This is not a penalty kick.
If it's that same guy from yesterday.
Seriously, what's taking so long, though? One guy's got to go.
Yeah, no.
Hit his back. Yeah. Go.
We've seen it.
We've seen it. It clearly hit his
Look
back.
how small these eyes are, Joe. I've seen it.
Do you know they're panicking now because Lingard was level.
Imagine if he goes and gives that now.
That was so dodgy. Right, no goal. No penalty. VAR
composure back.
Semi-working. England are in a bit of panic mode here. Memphis Depay is starting to pull a few strings going forward, Darren. What do you make of the Dutch at the moment?
Yeah, they're definitely in the ascendancy at the moment.
Van der Beek!
Oh, what a tackle.
Get it out!
Yeah, but you see with the VAR, isn't the ref supposed to go and look at the screen? He didn't go and look at it.
I think if it's subjective.
No, but for our goal. That was... I don't know what you saw there.
I think it's only subjective. Yeah, we haven't seen any replays. It's really rogue from UEFA or VAR or whatever it is.
I'd like to think with that offside, they've seen a different angle than we've seen there. Not that one picture there.
Yeah.
With the new lines. When they're on top of each other. Absolutely ridiculous.
Someone's down there like that.
What are the comments saying?
No, because it isn't like the law. It's supposed to go with the attacking team, like the advantage.
Yeah.
I always thought it had to be clear and obvious, but maybe that rule has now changed with the introduction of VAR. What are the comments saying? People saying penalty, no penalty.
People saying no penalty and just up in arms about the offside.
Did they think it was offside? I just can't. I think he looked level. Like, it was so tight.
Yeah, look at that. It's like a toe, though. It's a toe.
So at the moment, we are currently seeing the image of the offside on one of our monitors, and it looks to be matter of millimetres to us.
Which bit there they are?
His left foot.
His laces. His hair.
Your guy, double D's, and it's not on the line.
Yeah, it's literally a hair's breadth over, though, isn't it? He's offside by a size 7 to a size 8.
A toe.
And Jesse rocks a size 7.5, so he might well be offside. Either way, it's now a game right on a knife edge. We're in the 88th minute. And it's heated up a little bit. It was a bit dead for the first, 50. And then the goals have really sparked something in this game, I think. And we've had a few VAR incidents. Put him in.
I think that Jordan Henderson's made a good impact. It's come on. We've got to
taking over a little bit better. I mean, Barkley's not done enough for me tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
He was the one who put the ball through, which was nice, though.
Go on.
Yeah, that's true. Although it's a great touch by Sterling. I mean, if he doesn't slip that ball in as well, we're kind of hammering him. Oh, Chilwell, that's a tired ball.
Yeah, what
a tackle.
Kane!
It's come
Kane swivels and shoots from about 18 yards. It just slides past the post.
You see, as like a striker, how highly do you rate Kane?
Yeah, really. When he's on top form, I think he's the best in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Was he kicking out
better than Aguero?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you see much of him when you were at Spurs?
No, he was a young kid.
Very young.
Yeah.
Still wearing his Arsenal shirt back in those days.
Why do you like secrets?
Well, he was, wasn't he? I've seen the images. Yeah. Dave, you used to rave about him, mate, didn't you? When he was 12 coming through your academy.
He's one of the best under-7s you've ever seen.
Apparently, like, Wenger actually kicked off. He goes, how has he been allowed to, like...
not go through it?
Yeah, go through the thing.
You always see the photo of Kane in that Arsenal shirt.
Yeah, that was during it.
It's Frankie de Jong. He's just so calm in that area. It's so frustrating. It's like 6 yards out.
Double D's
all over the gap again.
On his backside.
And remember, he's on a yellow.
He is on a yellow, and he's prone to an error, Double D. He looks prone to an error, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Like, he's slightly rogue going forward. He looks a bit clumsy, Double D. 7 minutes of injury time.
Well, maybe we get the game done now rather than half an hour.
Who's been injured? Was Chilwell this half?
No, that was the first half.
First half, wasn't it?
Or the VAR.
VAR's, mate. VAR's.
Told you.
7 minutes added on for VAR. It's absolutely outrageous. Let's get some questions from you, William.
Jonathan Coynia says, do you think the benefit of VAR is worth it, or do you think it more disrupts the flow of the game than helps? Darren?
In this game here, I'm saying it disrupts it.
Yeah.
Because England think they've scored a perfectly good goal, and all of a sudden now Holland are on the ascendancy because it's like giving them a lifeline. So for me, it's interrupted the flow of the game, which was a good footballing game.
Oh, nice from Barkley.
And I don't think it's helped in this situation because us guys are sitting here watching the game, and we've looked at one. Say not the offside because that takes a bit of time. I understand that. Yeah. But the penalty with the hand hit Chilwell on his back, we saw it after one replay straight away in 30 seconds. Not even 30 seconds, 10 seconds. Get on with it. Like rest there for 2 minutes. It takes too long.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big VAR fan. Like, I think VAR.
You've got a T-shirt, haven't you?
Yeah, I have got a T-shirt, got the posters on the wall. Like, it's just too slow, isn't it? It's just too slow. Like, I mean, he's got to speed it up.
Yeah.
Reminds me of you, Dave.
Cheers, mate. Thank you, mate.
It takes a while to get going.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. It's a little bit slow. Any other comments about the VAR? What are people saying? Not happy?
I think VAR needs to be more efficient. VAR could be done so much better, but it is important.
I think it's a matter of like the refs getting used to it as well, like and because, but also surely it's almost like the video refs. They in this game they seem to be one who actually been the problem here.
Well, so nervous about getting it wrong.
It's hit his back. That's it. Done.
But they're so nervous about getting it wrong because it's like if you've got it wrong,
there's nowhere to hide, is there?
There's nowhere to hide, is there? Like you can't hide, yeah.
But then, like last night, that's absolutely. He tripped his own feet up.
I know.
And they've got a penalty.
Yeah. Was there no contact at all? I didn't actually
see
he
literally tripped his own feet up. The Bernardo Silva one's a blatant penalty, and yet Switzerland get a penalty.
Well, yeah. But it's just like, I think they will perfect it. They will perfect it.
Remember the World Cup, though? It was absolute gold dust. It was like another level of drama, wasn't it?
The Premier League next season, the amount of penalties
in the World Cup, though, like, everyone was like, out after a while. Every time there's a decision.
Is a chance? Oh, I don't know who that was. It was Lingard carrying the ball brilliantly through midfield and up onto the edge of the box and just curling a shot.
Pen.
Yeah, but that's what it's going to be like at the start of the Premier League next season, by the way. Penalties galore from corners because everybody's grabbing each other around the neck in the Premier League.
Do you think it will almost like even up those? You know, you always hear United always get pens, Liverpool always get pens. Help like the lower teams out, like your Burnleys who would never.
It's such a fallacy. It's such rubbish, isn't it? Like obviously the best teams get more pens because they're in the box more.
Well, that's a Birmingham. Well, we were speaking at different ends of the spectrum here, aren't we?
But if like a team, if Birmingham enter the box 3 times and City enter it 28, they're more likely to get a pen.
True.
Like that's what I've always thought. I don't know what you thought, Darren. Like you.
Yeah, I probably agree. To be fair, like obviously, if Manchester City keep entering the box a lot more times, then obviously they're going to get a lot more decisions.
Yeah, like as a player, was it ever that sort of thing where you felt like we're being harder hit because we're playing against a top team?
Do you know, you used to think that, right? But if you kept it at 0-0 for as long as you could, you always felt like, you know what, the ref's going to give us something here, you know, because listen, at the end of the day, refs are humans at the end of the day. I remember particularly we played at Sunderland against Manchester City. We got absolutely battered. We won 1-0.
Was that the last-minute goal?
No, that was the season after. Afterwards, we beat them 1-0 the season before that again.
You kept doing them as well, didn't you?
1-0. And we got battered for the whole game. Oh, my God.
What's he done? Maguire's had a nightmare. He's let Bergwijn in. Cuts it back to Memphis, who has
Manchester United Memphis there.
Like, that is so bad by Memphis Depay. Harry Maguire trying to do too much on the ball. Bergwijn steals it off him inside the box, cuts it back. Memphis off balance.
That's 2 months ago in the form of his life in Lyon. It's this 3 weeks they've had off.
Panicking, mate. Panicking. He's panicking because he's playing against England. And it's on English TV, I think.
Get it wide.
Declan Rice
first pass he's done all game.
Get round him, Chilwell.
Get outside him. Hendo, whip it in. Go on. Back sticks, go! Oh!
Go!
Lingard! Go down.
Go for a pen.
Oh, Lingard always scores big goals. Like, I always think he's going to get the winner.
You sound like you're frustrated when you say that. Wow. He always gets big goals.
Yeah, well, he does, though. Like, remember that one in the FA Cup final? That top
can forget.
Special goal. We are now just 3 minutes away from extra time.
Oh, God.
Do we think England changed system? What do we do extra time? Because obviously we've used up all our subs.
Do you not get one more in this, or...?
Oh, you get one more, of course. You do get one more. Do you risk it? Do you bring a Callum Wilson on, or do you then bring a defensive midfielder on, like a Dyer?
If you bring on Callum Wilson...
He's gone.
You can't bring on Callum Wilson, you have to change the whole shape.
Yeah.
So what would you do now? You're Gareth Southgate, extra time's looming, one sub left.
I'd leave the first 15, see how it goes, and then after that I might look to change maybe.
Yeah, would you bring on somebody like an Eric Dyer, who's seen score penalties in shootouts before?
Yeah, and I'm thinking more maybe Chilwell for Rose, maybe I'm thinking more.
Yeah?
Chilwell's done a lot of mileage.
Have a lot of energy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And the fullbacks are given. It's the fullbacks, if you look at it, given the width.
But I feel like the penalties for England. Like I would just go with the old reliables.
Go on then.
Raheem!
Oh!
Raheem Sterling trying to score a screamer from the edge of the box, curls it just over the top of the bar from the corner of the 18-yard area.
To be fair, like England, you see, like England are playing a lot like better now. If they can just cut these mistakes, because that's the only time that Holland look dangerous, where we give the ball away cheaply.
Yeah.
And then they're already in our half.
Yeah. If you are new to Football Daily or Soccer AM, by the way, and you are watching along with us, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you comment in below. Get involved in the chat with Will. Let us know your thoughts on the game and your questions for ex-England international Darren Bent, of course, who is joining us on the sofa until the end of this one.
That's the only time I look worried, when our defenders are going that way, yeah.
Panicsville, isn't it? Like, Harry Maguire, Stones and Walker.
Ref, he's come through the back of him.
Oh, he's... Memphis is...
Well in. Ref.
Memphis has got to be hooked.
Go on, Ref. Bring it back, thank you.
If you're Ronald Koeman, do you think about taking off Memphis?
I don't know, man. Just because he's...
He'd have that one moment,
yeah, do you know what I mean? Like,
one of these.
I think he's also he's actually quite quick, isn't he? So if you've got like a Harry Maguire's great in the air, but you say he's like the quickest.
Go on, Ben. Go on.
Denzel.
He is.
Denzel's there again.
Denzel Dumfries again, isn't it? Just ushering his man out, doing what he has to do. Big Denzel Dumfries doesn't put a foot wrong all night. Wow. 7 minutes are up now. That looks like it is extra time. I think the ref has just blown his whistle. Extra time. Change the taxi time for Darren. Either way, let us know your score predictions for extra time. Is going to go to penalties in the comments below. Let's get some questions from the watching people.
Yes, some more for Darren that we were picking up from on half-time. Everyone was talking about it. Sunderland documentary.
Yeah.
You featured in it.
Yeah.
Maybe for
the wrong reasons.
If you're a Sunderland fan.
Yeah.
What was it like with your experience up at Sunderland? And two, what did you make of the documentary?
It's about that particular day, or
what did you make of your time when you were?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, like probably the best time of my life is in career-wise playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my most successful season there. Like, love living up there. The people were friendly. The club was brilliant. It was obviously being like Noel Quinn was brilliant when I was up there, and I was real happy to be up there. Obviously, I ended up leaving after 18 months. Obviously, after Aston Villa coming and put a big bid in. But as I said before, I wasn't looking to leave.
No.
But like, at the end of the day, if the club didn't want to sell me, they should have said no.
Yeah.
But obviously, they wanted the money, and they were like, okay, well, I kind of got left to dry, to be fair. So I get why the Sunderland fans are angry, I'd say, with me. Obviously, the documentary was good, and I always said that if I ever went back and I scored against them, I wouldn't celebrate. But because of the amount of stick I was taking that day, I went back, I was warming up, and I was just getting pelts from all over the stadium. The whole stadium, yeah.
I bet it was a toxic atmosphere anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It was tough, and then obviously the amount of stick I was getting.
Because you gave it some to the fans, didn't you?
Yeah, but I wasn't going to do that. It's only because I was getting so much stick. And when I scored, is why I did what I did.
It was a big goal for Burton as well, wasn't it?
Massive, yeah. It was massive, but I said it was a toxic day that day because their own players were getting it as well. Like.
And what do you make of their plot going forward? Obviously missed out on the playoffs, but they're in a much better position now, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I mean, I always felt that Charlton. I mean, it was a funny playoffs for me because obviously I had 4 teams in the playoffs. So it was a funny one for me, but I always felt that Charlton were going to do it to get up, and they are in a better position, Sunderland. But I always felt that they didn't have that cutting edge maybe to take them over the line, or else I think they would have gone up automatically.
Joe, big question for you. Will you take Dumfries at Man United as right back
100%
over Dalot and Young?
I like Dalot. He should not be named. Not my favourite player, as anyone from Football Daily will know. I think his time at Manchester United is over. I would take big Denzel Dumfries in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I think he's been quite good tonight. Like, he's not been amazing, but...
Could have had a red card.
Solid enough. He's been solid enough. Like, you can see, like, Koeman trying to G his team up here. We've got Southgate kind of trying to G up the England team. Declan Rice is down, strapping his legs up. Rashford looks like he might have picked up a knock. Not great for England going into Sunday, having to play an extra half an hour afterwards. What would Southgate be saying? You can see him here on screen talking to some of his players. What will he be saying in this sort of situation?
I don't think he'll be panicking. I think he'll be just saying, listen, let's not make any silly mistakes. Like, let's not give him anything. Just stay in the game, keep passing, keep playing the way you're playing. Stay compact, stay solid. And just do what you've been doing. I mean, as you said, if you look at Holland's best chances, they've come from our mistakes.
Yeah.
You cut them out, you can have a shutout. So it's going to be a big first 15, but then I think after the second 15, I'd start looking at as the it looks like the fullbacks are giving us the whip, especially on that left-hand side. And Chilwell's run a lot of miles this game, so maybe I'd start to look at Danny Rose instead of him.
Yeah, I think also as well, there's a lot of this team that played in Russia last year. Yeah. So it'll also be like we've been here before, right? Yeah. You know, just you need to just relax. Like the last 5 minutes of the 7. We were actually playing very well. We were actually keeping the ball. We looked very composed on the ball. So it's just a matter of keeping up what we're doing. As I said, cutting out the mistakes, and then we are definitely going to get another chance.
Do you think it makes the decision to bring Harry Kane on at half-time instead of Callum Wilson look a bit of an odd one now? Because, like, I feel like I would rather... I don't know whether I'd want Kane playing a whole 60 minutes off the back of what we saw was a struggling Tottenham performance as well, and going into Sunday.
It's a risk of injury.
Big risk of injury, isn't it? Like, he's just rushing him back all the time.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be our first penalty taker. Yeah. Talking of penalties, are we confident?
Yeah.
Going into the penalties.
Who have you got on? Kane,
Sterling,
Lingard,
Henderson.
Sterling.
Henderson missed these against Colombia, but he scored a few this season.
Henderson, I would never be confident over a penalty.
But who's Holland's? Memphis. Don't quite know what you're going to get.
Frankie de Jong probably take one.
I went the little sleeper.
How about Double D will pop up?
Double D. Double D is guaranteed to miss. Double D into Rose Ed. Donny van den Beek, the attacking midfielder from Ajax, will probably take one as well. Looks like they are going to make a change here, the Dutch.
Is that Proper from?
It looks like Proper is coming on. Yeah, I think it is. Is it the Brighton boy? I'm not too sure, but Proper is coming on for the Dutch. So they've used theirs off. Bergwijn is coming off. Bergwijn, I think, probably missed a couple of key chances for the Dutch in that 90 minutes. Like there was one at the back stick, so not particularly great. I'm just hoping that England win on penalties and Double D bangs his in. That's the crucial.
So everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner.
Apart from Holland.
I don't care about the Dutch. As long as Double D's having a good time, we're all having a good time. Yeah. Any questions then from the people as we get underway in extra time in the semi-finals of the Nations League?
Speaking about goalkeepers, they could have a big part to play in the penalty.
Go on, Jesse. Pick someone out.
Shootout. Who is England's best ever goalkeeper? Or, because we're all going to say Peter Shooting good about who's the best one of our sort of
Dave Seaman
generation?
Yeah, Dave Seaman, 100%.
Dave Seaman.
He was so good in '96. You have no idea.
After what, 2002?
Yeah, I wasn't alive for '96. Well, I was alive, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, no, David Seaman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even after the Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I remember.
Yeah, same. I remember that ponytail having an absolute disaster, to be honest.
I was a massive Nigel Martin fan as a kid.
Yeah.
Probably says more about me.
Nigel Martin.
He was unbelievable.
He was good at Leeds.
He was good at Leeds, yeah.
And Crystal Palace.
But that Leeds team as a whole was pretty solid, wasn't it? Like, that was probably one of the better Leeds teams. I don't know, yeah, maybe David Seaman. I think David Seaman.
Who we had after? Paul Robinson was always Joe Hart.
David James, he played.
David James,
I think consistency, David Seaman.
Yeah, I'd go David Seaman.
And he single-handedly made the greatest save ever from Paul Pesky-Salido.
Old Trafford.
Yes.
Yeah, wicked.
We have got a price boost courtesy of Sky Bet coming in here. England to win in extra time was 9-4, now 11-4. Odds are accurate at the time of recording and subject to change. Of course, you've got to be over 18 to gamble. See skybet.com for the T's and C's. I think England are going to win this in extra time. I think Harry Kane's going to get us a winner.
Let's hope so.
Just let's get him away from free kicks, though. Any free kicks in and around the area. I don't want to see this nonsense Euro style. Do you remember when he was taking free kicks from 45 yards?
Iceland.
Get him away from all of that stuff.
Isn't it weird how far we've come since that game?
That is crazy, isn't it? It's only like three years, isn't it?
Yeah, that's mental.
No.
Is that when we lost? Is it 1-0 we lost or 2-1?
2-1.
We were 1-0 up after about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we were. We had a penalty. Everybody thought we were going to smack them about.
I fell asleep. I've been to Glastonbury. I missed the first 20 minutes and missed it all.
I had an absolute disaster that day. I was doing some like Vox Pops around London, and we could only use the Vox Pops. I did 5 hours worth of Vox Pops. We could only use them if England went through. Absolute waste.
You think they would?
They would have burned them. Here we go then. Oh, here's a chance.
There he is.
Double D.
Strike.
Double D. That's a great ball. Oh, great defending. Double D on the right-hand side, just swinging the ball in, but John Stones was some unbelievable defending.
I thought that if he missed that, someone's coming behind him.
Yeah.
I panicked. Look, if he missed it,
Van den Beek as well. Yeah, it's going to be a goal. Brilliant defending by John Stones after good work by Double D on this right-hand side.
Mate,
Holland are causing us some problems.
It's just coming out game for me. Don't get to see much of Double D, but after today,
I know, mate.
We're getting the shirt.
Mark Van Bommel, Double D. It's a dangerous combination. That's what I'm saying. Remember the name. We have got a corner there. Memphis Depay is going to whip it in. He's not had his best day in a Dutch shirt, it has to be said. Whips it in. Trouble. Van Dijk is cleared off the line by Harry Kane.
Well, why weren't they there for the goal?
Yeah, Van Dijk winning the header from Memphis Depay. But the Dutch have started the better side in extra time, lads. What are our thoughts on the Dutch in the extra time? They look more dangerous.
They do, yeah. It looks like they've obviously gathered themselves now. They're starting to pass the ball, like, the Dutch can. They're starting to drive forward as well. England are starting to look a bit weary, which is why we're having to maybe look at a change. Oh no, Stones.
Free kick. Oh, why is he giving it away in there, Stones? De Jong was always going to go down when he wins the ball off Stones on the edge of his own area. Now the Dutch have a free kick on the edge of the area in a really nice position.
That was all England's mistake there. It was just
again, like we said there, if they can just stay still and not give away any mistakes, then they'll be all right.
The defence tonight, for me, has looked really suspect. Yeah. Like, it's been Maguire, Walker, Stones, error.
I think Chilwell's probably been the best.
Yeah. So do I. And I don't know whether it's because they haven't played together for a while or whether there's an unsettled midfield three in front of them, but they just look like they're overplaying.
Yeah.
And now Memphis has the chance to really silence the English crowd because he'll be on this, he'll be wanting this.
I'm going to say this is going wide.
94th minute. Which row is this one landed in? I'm going to go Double D. I think this is going miles over Memphis here. Nah, they always hit the wall from this range.
Why are we cursing it?
You know what, he's going to go for a side foot. Hard side for it to go over the bar.
Memphis Depay, guaranteed to hit the wall here.
I guarantee
Any money.
He doesn't hit the target.
Yeah, he won't hit the target. Nailed on, this hits the wall.
I feel a bit sick
from Memphis Depay. Here we go, steps up on the edge of the box. Memphis Depay, free kick.
Wide.
Oh, it's not a bad strike, but it's straight at Pickford. Me and Darren both wrong there, both say he wouldn't hit the target, but he did. Troubled Pickford, but it was straight down his throat, really. Not a particularly great free kick. Just doesn't really get... I think he's going that side, isn't he?
Just wants to hit the target.
Just wants to hit the target. Them stats up.
Yeah.
Patrick Van Straten, absolutely delighted with that. Well, another shot on target. What are the people at home saying then, Brazia?
Joe, so the winner of this game will be facing Portugal. What do you think about Cristiano Ronaldo's hat-trick last night against Switzerland?
Oh, Kane and... Ronaldo thing?
Well, he's just phenomenal, isn't he? I don't know how long he can keep doing this, to be honest with you. But if we can get through, I'd actually fancy us against them because I think he'll probably play our best 11 because there'll be some of the Spurs players that played on Saturday. Like that's basically a week then, isn't it? So I think it would be our best 11. I think our best 11 would beat Portugal.
Yeah, I think our best 11 would beat Portugal, but I just think he can drag them out of the fire. Yeah. And I think the only worry is that you worry about England players concentrating solely on him. Because I think some people think, right, if we can stop Ronaldo, we can stop them, but it just doesn't work like that.
Bernardo Silva's probably been top 3 Premier League player of the season.
Yeah. So you just think it's hard. How can they stop him? Do you know what I mean? Ronaldo. And as you said, Bernardo Silva's there as well. He's been brilliant. So
very, very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to just, like you say, man-mark him, because then that exposes you, and that's not how England play either. Like, they don't key in on players.
What's he doing?
He's going to howl at Memphis. It's got an open goal. What's a save by Pickford. Get there. It's a goal. The Dutch have scored 2-1.
What's he doing there?
John Stones.
John Stones has had a howler. England have been awful at the back. John Stones...
Please. What a bad finish from Depay.
Yeah, John Stones has had a nightmare on the edge of the box, given the ball away. Memphis Depay has stolen in, open goal, missed the open goal. Brilliant save by Pickford. And following up is... I'm not too sure. No, Bergwijn's come off. I'm not sure who's followed up.
I'll have a look for you.
Is it John Stones?
Yeah.
John Stones, dilly-dallying on the ball.
There's no one near him.
Absolutely ridiculous decision. Memphis steals it off him. Brilliant save by Pickford. And I'm not sure who has stolen in there, but whoever has got some gas because he's gone past Walker like he's not even there.
Oh, is it him?
Oh, Lord, yeah. It looks like it's
is it an own goal?
Quincy Promes.
It's an own goal.
It's an own goal. It's gone down as a Carl Walker own goal, and England must be kicking themselves to give this game away. Yeah. The defending has been god-awful.
They've just taken way too many risks. Like we spoke at the start of this game and we said it's nice to have a manager that obviously if you do make a mistake, he said, I want you to play that way, but listen, as a manager, you can't be happy with that.
Yeah.
First of all, oh my God, not again.
What's going on here?
What are we doing? What are the defenders?
And again.
How many times?
What's he had here?
Darren, what would you be saying as a striker to this defence right now?
I'll just be like, listen, just keep pressing them. They look tired now, don't they? They look really tired.
Stones has done that 3 times today. 4 in the first half on the 6-yard box. He did it before the end of the game, and now he's doing it here, and he's cost us this game.
What would you, as an opposition striker, what would you be saying?
Just keep pressing them, because Stones to me looks really tired.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, he's not played much football, so he looks tired, but I just think Gareth Southgate, I know he doesn't really like to run the riot act, but I think there comes a time and a place where you've got to go, listen, especially at this time of the game, John Stones, go back to Pickford or just go boom.
Why didn't he give it back to Pickford?
Yeah.
Just
you know what he
restart.
needs? You know what he needs? A bit of Kirbishley reading the
Trust
right
me.
act.
Yeah, you do. Kirbishley in there half-time.
Yeah,
De Ligt's up again, he's won it, it's another goal!
Oh,
Brilliant save by Pickford. De Ligt wins the header, Memphis wins the second ball, and England are asleep right now. Brilliant save by Pickford.
They look so tired.
England are all over the place.
Oh, he's moved his arm.
Depay has a header from 6 yards out, second ball, and it's just brilliant by Pickford. Now another corner being swung in by, is it Daley Blind out there doing some real damage? They're just targeting De Ligt, and nobody from England can get hold of him.
It's also Kane.
He got a free header! He's up again! Van Dijk! It's off the line again by Kane. The Dutch are battering England right now. They are all over us. Deary me, England.
Van Dijk, De Ligt, free at the back post.
This is where you're saying Kane and Henderson, pull them together.
Yeah.
You're meant to be the leaders out there. Hendo's just lifted a Champions League. Kane's captain of your country. Pull them together.
Oh, that could be worse.
Bit naughty. It's a little yellow there, surely. How do England turn this around? We've got 20 minutes to save our Nations League.
I feel like he needs to bring
campaign.
an attacking midfielder on for one of his defensive ones. Well, I think they're supposed to be defensive midfielders, but not are they? They've been shocking today.
Got Dele Alli on the bench.
Dele's on the bench.
Dele, get him on.
Get Dele Alli and just say that just go and play as a number 10.
Take Declan Rice off.
Yeah.
I think he's played pretty well. Get Jordan just to sit in there and go Ali, go on.
Yeah, because we need to get hold of this game.
Yeah, that's
We're not putting any passes together.
There's no point us playing long ball against like Van Dijk and De Ligt. There's no point doing.
Is he going to shoot for me? Do you think?
This is
Memphis is going to shoot me.
Memphis Depay has a free kick from basically the corner flag. He has shot, and it's terrible. He's picked it up. But yeah, I agree. I think England's midfield has been really rubbish tonight. Just not had any cohesion. Like it's just not strung 10 passes together.
Go on.
Well done, that's good.
He's offside, I can see it from here.
15 yards off there.
Just finish it anyway.
Red! Got to be a penalty.
Referee, linesman put his
Lino. Why didn't the Lino bottle that first up? He was 10 yards
He's like
off.
this, he's twitching.
Because obviously there's this new thing where it's like VAR, they don't want to give it.
He's well off.
Well off.
Dumfries doing a job again on the line.
He's played fantastic double D.
Big double D, just
MOM?
man of the match. That's what I'm saying. Not saying too much. Double D looking likely to get man of the match. Class. What are the people saying? What's the reaction been in the comments to that goal? The Dutch.
Just everyone, I mean, there's a few people laughing, so I presume they're not England fans, just that John Stones defending, and then England fans just can't believe that he's not dealt with it.
Relax.
This is a Rolls Royce of a defender.
Do you know what it is? I just think, obviously, he wants him to play a certain way.
It's chaos right
now. But it does get to a point where, you, as a player, you've got to take the initiative in your own hands. You've got to go, listen, I can't do a Cruyff turn on the edge of my own box. I'm on my own.
After 100 minutes of playing football.
Yeah, you're tired. Just go back to Pickford and get up.
Pickford had made the angle as well. That's why his save was so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... England have really thrown this game away.
Yeah.
Like...
Think of that Sancho header as well.
The Sancho header at 1-0 that was as well. Just, deary me. Now the Dutch are keeping it in the corner. Memphis Depay, somebody go and kick in.
Do you know what, to be fair to him as well, he's missed chance after chance, but he's still getting himself in there.
Yeah.
Still holding the ball up pretty well.
Not been terrible. He's not been terrible. He's just been a bit chaotic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, he's just been rash. Like,
Step here now. Just pass it back to the keeper and get up.
Come on, England. We've got to press now. England have got to get Dele Alli on
We've got
this
about
pitch,
20 minutes, haven't we?
Got to get Dele Alli on the pitch. We've got 20 minutes. Plenty of time to win this game. Got to get Dele Alli on. I don't think any of our defenders have had a good night.
No.
Oh, so sloppy by Hendo. Put your foot on it. Put your foot on it. Get it down. When you played with Jordan, what was your sort of feeling about his game? Do you ever think he was going to get to this point of being like Champions League winning central midfielder?
I always knew he'd get to the top just because his work ethic.
But like technically?
Technically, he was always a good player as well. He could
really?
Pass it. Yeah, he could pass it. Good touch. The only thing you'd say about him when he was younger, maybe he ran too much.
Really?
I mean, like, yeah, he'd run and you think, well, George, that. But that comes with experience. You don't have to run everywhere. Like every training session, he'd be getting in the red zone heart rate. And sometimes Steve Bruce would have to say to him, listen, Jordan, you're not training today because your heart's too high, your heart rate's too high, like, you just relax. So sometimes that was the one criticism of him, but other than that, just someone that works that hard and really believes in himself, and he's got a good family around him as well, which always helps.
Yeah, because I think it's an accusation that's levelled him a lot, isn't it? It's like he's a workhorse without much technical ability, but I think he's disproved that this season, really.
I think so as well.
I think like the second leg of the semi-final, I thought it was fantastic. It was a proper captain's performance.
Yeah.
And it was almost like there was that chance to first player, Liverpool player, to step out of Steven Gerrard's kind of shadow, really, to go, like, this is now my team.
Yeah.
I'm now going to take us to the final.
And
it was fantastic.
There was a few reports saying that he'd spoken to Klopp, who's like, I want to play a little bit more advanced, don't want to play quite as deep, and I feel like it actually unlocked him a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting it up and down a little bit more, not having to play that defensive midfield role.
I mean, it's such an iconic picture now of him lifting that Champions League.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the emotion in his face, like he's lifting, like, ah. Do you know what I mean? I just think for him, it's brilliant.
There was a great video as well of him and his walking over to his dad, wasn't there? That was a brilliant clip. Who's that running back there? Kyle Walker. Come on, Kyle. England have got to get up for this. It's gone a bit flat.
Yeah.
It's gone a bit flat for England. Not creating anything. Can't get on the ball. We've got to get some players forward. I feel like the Sancho substitutions really hurt our attack. Really hurt our attack. That's lazy by the Dutch.
I just don't know what. Like, obviously, if England were to lose this game, I just don't know what he does then for the next game, because he's going to have to go and play Callum Wilson then and all these guys.
You'd bring them all out.
You'd have to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, got to bring all of them out. Is that the third place game?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just got to bring everybody out then, isn't it? You give everybody give the B squad a go.
Yeah.
But this does kind of prove, like, people saying, oh, why is Maddison not in this? Well, because Maddison's going to go out and get 5-6 games out of the under-21s with England. Like, he would be playing one game here for England.
Max.
Like, and it might not even be a 90. It might be a 60. Same for Wan-Bissaka. So it's better they go and have these sort of moments. But for me, this is just turning into a terrible night for England.
Is absolutely shattered out there, and he's probably thinking, every time the ball comes anywhere near him, he's probably thinking, oh my God.
Get it off me.
I'm so tired.
So do we have another centre-half on the bench? I know. We've only one sub left. You want to use that in like an attacking. At the same time, you don't want to go 3-1 down, because then you're stunned, innit?
Yeah.
You've got to get Dele on. At the half-time of extra time, you've got to get Dele on. There we go. Half-time in extra time. Netherlands 2, England 1.
So cheap. It's so cheap.
So cheap. Terrible by John Stones. What are people saying at home? What's been the reaction at half-time?
Well, I think there's a lot of non-England fans in the comments getting involved. Lots of cheering, lots of people still laughing at John Stones' mistake, and then a lot of people calling for people like Callum Wilson to get on and Dele Alli. But a lot of people back in Memphis for a 3-1 to Netherlands.
Oh, none of us got our score predictions right, by the way. I mean, you've still got a chance, Brazil, but...
I didn't get the first scorer.
Oh, you didn't get the first scorer. Like, no, not even close. We didn't think we'd concede 2, did we?
I got the right scoreline, wrong team, and to be fair, Maguire should have scored if Stones had got his way.
What? Like, if Walker doesn't put his foot there...
Why is he celebrating? It's an own goal, you prat.
Pickford thumping the ground again. I've seen that shot about 15 times this season.
Yeah. When we was at school, right, I always remember it.
Dele's coming on.
Conceded.
That's good.
Lad did that, only wanted to do this. Mate came in, teacher was like, he's the only one who's got passion. He's the captain now. And then next game we went 1-0 down, about 11 of us. Oh, what's going on here?
Wow.
Is that how captains are made, Darren? Just by simple
punching the ground?
Punching the ground?
No, but do you know what surprised me? I listened to I listened to an interview with Danny Rose the other week on TalkSport. I don't know if you heard it, TalkSport. And he was talking about, obviously, like, he was talking about all the racial stuff and all that, but he was talking about captains. And he said that apparently Harry Kane loses it. And it shocked me, because I thought, really?
Yeah. What, in the dressing room?
So apparently, after that first leg of the Ajax Champions League where they got battered, Harry Kane at half-time come running... No, half-time in the second leg, Harry Kane come running down to the change room and went absolutely crazy. Like, about going crazy at all the players. Yeah, you tell you what your season to win and all that. And obviously, they turned it around.
Yeah.
But also, as well, apparently, like, Danny Rose was saying, when he loses it, he just loses it.
Southgate's losing it now, by the looks of it.
And I would have never guessed Harry Kane was like that.
That's good, though.
Apparently, he goes ballistic.
Yeah.
Well, no, Poch would respond to something like that.
Yeah, well, I think Poch likes that sort of stuff, doesn't he? He puts a lot of faith in his players. Like, you can see Southgate here going absolute bananas at some of his players. And it looks like Dele has come on for Declan Rice. It's the move you guys predicted. England have got to get hold of the ball, though. Like, we just had no real we haven't had consistent attacks.
No. We had that one spell, start of second half?
Yeah.
And then
what he needs to do is get on the ball early. He can't, in this situation, he can't be a passenger. because he needs to be getting on the ball going forward. Because if he's not going to do that, he's not really going to do much defensively. You're going to get overrun in there.
Yeah, Declan Rice coming off as well. I don't think he's had the best. None of our central midfielders have shone.
I thought he's done all right, Declan. You know,
like I think he does what he does, doesn't he? Like he's never going to be like a flashy player. Just breaks the ball up and gives it. Breaks the ball up and gives it, which is fine when you're playing in that defensive midfield.
So obviously he's also very young as well. Why didn't he go to 21s? Or was it just we were just left without?
I think maybe because of Eric Dyer being in the Champions League final, Jordan Henderson being in the Champions League final.
Yeah, the whole Ireland thing.
They just wanted to give him a competitive cap.
Yeah, I just think that once he chose England, I just can't see them like. Why would he then put him back to the 21s, 23s to be like, well, hold on.
Hang on a minute, he's lashed him.
Who has?
Who is it? BB? Not BB. DD.
Double D? No, but it's VDB. It's VDB, yeah, Van der Beek. No, I think that's literally nailed on. I completely agree. Like, the Ireland situation has meant he has to be played in these games.
Yeah.
What's a bit naughty by old Donny there, isn't it?
Dave, one for you from Zion Song. He says John Stones is the English Mustafi.
Well, tonight he bloody was, wasn't he? Shambles.
I think that's harsh, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's had a pretty strong season with Man City, you know, domestic treble.
But I just think sometimes, you know what I mean, you can overplay and
just silly.
Like Harry Maguire as well. You see in the second half when he tried to on his own byline.
Yeah.
But it's encouraged, isn't it? Like even their club managers, like Brendan Rodgers, encourages ball progression from the back, didn't they? And then the same definitely said Pep. Go down. Why didn't he hit the deck there? There's definitely a foul on the edge of the box. Oh, he's in. Come on, Kyle.
Hamstring.
Pace there.
That's hamstring. That is hamstring, isn't
it? Even John Terry, who's been one of the greatest defenders in this country, like in that situation, would kick it. Doesn't care. Rio, real good footballers. Listen, by John Stones clearing it, people ain't going to then all of a sudden go, he can't play.
It's almost it's like a movie. It's like we've been preluded to this mistake from John Stones for the whole game.
Yeah, it really is. Like it's been coming, hasn't it? It's been like teased over and over.
And it's not to like. I love that style of play. But like you said, the decision-making there should be...
Come on, Dele. Get hold of it, Dele. Start pulling the string.
Come on, then. Low drive. Little fizzer.
Do something.
Shoot.
Dive.
Half a yard.
Go down.
Go on, then.
Oh, that's brilliant, by
Yeah, how is he?
The lead in the second half has just been monumental. He's just a beast, isn't he? Like, for a 19-year-old. He plays like he's about 30. Like, he's so intelligent.
But literally just boss Kane.
He looks massive, doesn't he?
He's huge, isn't he, for 19?
Yeah.
He's like, absolute monster.
I really fear for this wherever they are playing this game if England loses.
Porto.
In the manner that they've lost it as well.
Yeah. Extra time. The poor old City could be on absolute attack after this.
It's gonna be like the end of Game of Thrones.
Get the riot vans out.
Get the flames out.
Get the riot vans out. Come on, England. It's whipped in.
What have you done there?
What is that?
Who was that?
One of the worst corners you'll ever see by Ben Chilwell there.
All his caps should be burnt.
107th minute. That is
ridiculous.
Absolute disgrace.
I've never seen anything like that.
All his caps should be burnt.
Yeah, that's a disgrace, Darren.
Wow, what is
if you've run up for a corner there and you're a centre-back and he's done that, what are you saying?
Well, the worst thing is Kane...
Ball it effing properly.
Abuse. Absolute abuse going on.
Kane and Maguire are so good in the air and he's decided to do whatever that crap was.
It's like he's like tried to chip it back to the edge of the area. I'm just not sure what's
going on.
Even that,
whoever's going to receive that has got to have the best technique on the planet to score from there.
England are really struggling. Although we're starting to get hold of it a little bit.
What a tackle that is.
What a tackle. Who's that? Frankie de Jong. He's just breaking up play.
You know, when we said a couple of minutes ago that Iceland game seemed about 3 years ago. It's literally the second half. What is going on?
Yeah, I know. It's chaos. But, so calm by the Dutch. Oh, it's brilliant by Ireland.
You can tell tired how tired Stones is, because look how deep he drops. He's dropping so much deeper than the rest of them. He's giving himself a few yards.
Van der Beek is getting on the ball a lot more. I feel like the Netherlands' substitutions have been a lot more effective than ours.
Yeah, so true.
Our substitutions have struggled.
Even the way the guy, I know it was no goal, but he caught Walker on his heels, didn't he?
Yeah, like Jadon Sancho, him coming off has just been a real problem for
How does he still look so fresh, that de Jong?
He's just ridiculous, isn't he?
Fresh, doesn't he? Yeah, like...
He's seriously got the most ridiculous engine, de Jong. Like, he looks like he's come on 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
He's just so good for a 19-year-old. Or 21-year-old, however old he is. But, like, he's just... The engine in him, comparatively to, like, Barkley, who looks like he can't run anymore. Barkley looks like he's running himself into the ground.
Probably the most minutes he's had all season, isn't it?
Did he play in the Europa final?
He did.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, because Loftus-Cheek was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek did his...
that random game as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, Loftus-Cheek did his in America, wasn't it?
Seattle, wasn't it? Or something.
So that's a great ball. Well done, Kyle. Come on, Pickford, get him up. Look how deep you're right. Look, Stones is so deep, he can't even travel.
Tired.
So they're saying Stones get up, and he's about 30 yards deeper than the rest of the line. His legs have just gone. Maguire's doing a.
Give it him then. Give it left back.
Give it wide. Well done.
Look at who's in the box there. You got
Chilwell, beat him. Oh, it's double D, standing him up like he's not even there. Just the danger.
He's onside.
He's on. Stones' legs are gone. Memphis is in. 1-on-1.
Oh, look at this.
Fouling Walker.
Terrible.
Terrible by Memphis Depay.
Stones in treacle there. He was
John Stones is literally slow-mo running.
That was like FIFA, that wasn't it?
Forward in the bloody Wembley game.
Just totally gone, John Stones' legs.
What a bad cross.
Terrible
from Depay.
I know. Some of his final balls tonight have been seriously questionable.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind sticking a little target man up there, a little Maguire, just...
I don't know, we used the thing now, yeah, stick him up there now.
Salvage shot.
Yeah.
Down the camera.
Yes.
We've kind of got to go for it now. We've got 10 minutes left, or we're going out of the Nations League.
Tell Kyle Walker to sit, because he's quick, he's still in the pace, then just get Stones up there.
You can see why he scores so many goals on Memphis, because he gets himself in good positions.
Yeah. But let's not forget this is the Dutch team that didn't even go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, they've really revamped over the last few years, specifically under Koeman. Like, De Jong, De Ligt, Van der Beek.
Van Dijk, man.
Van Dijk.
What a ball.
Get up, Kane! Oh, De Ligt is just a beast, isn't it?
Foul.
He's not giving that, is he?
Yeah, he's giving it. But it's just like, De Ligt's positioning, his strength. After that one error in the first half, he's just been monumental.
It's not foul, is it?
It's not foul. What do you want him to do?
You know what? You've not even mentioned Virgil just because of how good that De Ligt's been.
Yeah.
Imagine if Liverpool picked up De Ligt. Alongside Virgil.
They wouldn't concede a goal ever again.
It'd be ridiculous, wouldn't it? It'd be absolutely ridiculous. If you are new to the channel and you're enjoying this content, by the way, make sure you hit subscribe, leave a comment with your score prediction, let us know some questions that we can ask to Darren as well. Whilst you're there, what are the people saying, William?
Just people still in shock over that goal, and a lot of people thinking Memphis Depay is going to be the difference and make it 3-1 to Holland, but a few England fans getting involved. And a lot of people, I'm not saying I agree with it, I'm just reading the comments, a lot of John Stones, very overrated.
A lot of abuse for John.
Yeah, but if you hadn't made that mistake, them comments wouldn't have come out, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, like, I felt like everybody used to say that about John Stones, and then you just disproved them all in 2 seasons at City, and now one error, everybody's like, well, this is the Everton Stones again. Have a day off.
How old is he?
25, 26.
How old is he?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's have a look. How old?
25.
Oh, 25 years old he is. He's 25.
I'm so tired.
William's just had a look now.
Memphis. Jesus.
Is any chance of a Memphis final ball?
Oh, it's a foul.
Do not foul him in there, Kyle. Well done, Kyle. Get us up. Look how deep John is. Where is he?
It's a foul.
Oh,
of course it's a foul. Like, that's
so stupid.
Again, it's game management. Like
football IQ.
He's not going anywhere. Just leave him.
And again, this is a Kyle Walker that's won 2 leagues on the trot. He should know better than that.
Yeah, just leave him.
He should know better.
It's just basic.
Silly.
They're bringing on Kevin Strootman. Is coming on by looks for Frankie de Jong, who has run about 15,000 miles in this game. Strootman comes on in central midfield alongside Gini Wijnaldum. I don't know whether they have got a free kick here, by the way. I think it's England's throw-in. Because
they went to take it back. Yeah, okay.
It was just because of the substitution.
Stones
on his own.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! 3-1. Stones.
England have absolutely embarrassed themselves. He's done it again. John Stones has given the ball away on the edge of his own box, tried a pass to Barkley.
I don't think it was Stones giving away.
I think it's Barkley, wasn't it?
No, but
he was giving him the worst pass.
Yeah.
Hospital ball to Ross Barkley. The bloke is straight through the back of him, nicks it off it. Memphis sets it up for an open goal for Promise, who has scored again.
I want to see what happens to Pickford here.
So Stones plays the ball into central midfield to Barkley. The
Even
ball's never on.
Stupid pass.
Terrible. It's brilliant by Depay, to be fair.
It is, but Barkley, let me see Barkley here. Oh, it's Barkley, really.
Oh, Barkley's panicked a little bit and he set up Memphis Depay, who squared it for an open goal. 3-1, Promise, and game over. England are out of the Nations League. Just like that. Just so disappointing.
We've been saying all game, though, to be fair. Like, Holland have not really carved England open at all. No, it's only been England mistakes.
But also, like, to be fair to the Dutch, they've pressed really well. Like, they've pressed England's tired defenders.
Yeah,
like,
so true.
Whenever England have got on the ball at the back, the Dutch have been on them straight away, and it's just forced.
That's just cheap
That is
passing.
so cheap. Who's that?
There's a name for strikers like Memphis Depay, pest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where they just keep
busy
buzzing around, busy all around you.
That is poor, though, from him, isn't it?
It's literally like the back four have gone from like being 24-year-olds to about 44-year-olds.
It's ridiculous.
What has happened? What has happened to this England backline? Because it's an absolute disgrace.
It's not even like there's any Spurs or Liverpool players that are making the mistakes who played the biggest game of their life on Saturday night.
To be fair, that's probably like...
It's like players that have had two and a half weeks off.
But maybe that's why. We saw that in the Champions League final. We saw it in the Europa League final. These players looked off the game. The Europa League final, the quality was embarrassing. The Champions League final, the quality was embarrassing.
Let's just move on from that one.
And I feel like this big break, like a month-long break going into this tournament, has really hindered us. Like,
but
abysmal.
But again, like you see, like next summer, it's going to be like you're saying. They need to get used to playing like this. It's stupid.
I can't get over how the Dutch have been really compact. Second half, like in and around the edge of the area. Now they are just breaking. They could just pick us apart here. Memphis is in. John Stones' legs are just gone.
Memphis is knackered as well. Cramp.
Absolute cramps, Phil, in both legs.
Stones is about 2 yards in front of him, then.
Yeah, John Stones, he looks like he's got concrete legs.
He's so heavy, isn't he?
So heavy. Like, De Ligt looks fresh as a daisy at the other end, and poor old John Stones.
Too many nights out round Cheadle Hume back in Manchester.
Back round where, Cheadle?
Cheadle Hume, that's what he's been. You know it, Darren. You see it on your face, you know it very well.
It's just like, maybe he's, you might be right, celebrations have just gone on for slightly too long at the City, because John Stones, where's he been?
But you know what's crazy, though, and it's horrible, is that you think to yourself, well, here we go.
Go on, Kane, do something, Harry. She's just saying now, do it, man. That's a great ball. Go on, Dele. Pick a pass. Oh, not to Barkley's a mess. Shoot, Kane.
Corner, come on then. Get the love train.
Is that when England are going in the direction, you think, right, something positive. This always brings them back to reality. That's back to you think, oh, well, all of a sudden now you put France ahead of them early, didn't you?
Yeah.
You said they're probably better than Spain, Italy.
Yeah,
all of a sudden now Holland, Holland better than them. Do you know what I mean? It's
crashing back down to reality with a clang, aren't you? Just straight away.
Tell you what, John Stones did not want to get up for this corner, did he?
Yeah,
he goes back the other end.
Chilwell. What is this weird delivery he's trying? Hanging it up, because it's Van Dijk and De Ligt who are just two.
Backstage, Dele's on there.
Keeper.
Overhit. Terrible.
I still think that Jesse Lingard goal was a goal, to be honest. His bloody toenails cost us.
Lingard. Yeah, it's all come down to that toenail goal.
And Sancho.
Sancho's missed. It's all got a bit flat here, isn't it?
Taking him off.
But what is England doing at the back there? What are we doing throwing goals away like that?
To be fair, even their first goal, right, it was a cheap corner that we gave away.
Yeah.
It weren't like they had a 5-pass move and he scored a wonder.
Maybe the front man. If I'm the Memphis there, I don't think I'm squaring that. I think I'm pretending to square it and trying to go around the keeper.
Oh, Van der Beek is just picking up dangerous areas now. They're just picking us apart. We're so tired.
Is that double? No, it's not him, is it?
I wish
it's the lad who scored 1.5. Promise.
Is Denzel on?
I think Double D's still on, mate. He's got the engine of.
There he is.
Mo Farah. Just it keeps going. This guy.
Oh, I'm just fed up, Dawn.
Oh, I love it. Raheem what is that? Rugby tackle.
Hadouken. Did him a little.
Finish him, mate.
Finish him.
See him, mate. I'll actually think about bringing Southgate on.
Yeah.
He'd do a job.
Come on, Gareth.
Well, he can't be any worse than Stones.
Won Le Tournoi, 97, hear me out. Did a job. Knows how to win a major trophy.
Stones. Oh dear, England are heading out of the Nations League, 118th minute.
Rubbish tournament anyway.
Nobody wants to win it, it's just a B-Tech tournament, isn't it? Last minute of the Nations League. England are heading out.
Here it is. Oh, there we go.
Double D man of the match, what are we saying? Are we confident? I think. Who would you give your man of the match to?
Dillit. For me, it's an obvious one.
Yeah.
For him to recover like he did.
Yeah, goal and absolutely fantastic second half performance.
Yeah, put tackles in. For him to recover.
He really has been incredible, the league. Like, you can totally see why the price tags are being banned around the 80 mil. At put it in perspective, he's only 19. Like, there's no other centre-backs. Centre-backs, like, getting their prime, like, 10 years now.
I think what adds so much more value to him today wasn't necessarily the goal and that bit, it was the fact he made such a big mistake and it didn't affect him. No. He just went, OK, that's happened, now I'm going to get my composure back. Yes.
Like, you see him for Ajax, like, leading them out at 19 and kind of conducting the chants and all this kind of stuff, and it's easy to see his price tag at 80 to 100 million justified.
I think Frankie de Jong's been really good as well.
Yeah.
Like, he never puts a foot wrong. That's the best thing about Frankie. Like, just doesn't give the ball away ever. There he is, Denzel, getting the assist now. Oh, Jordan's just got there. Get it out of the field then, Jordan, progress us.
Oh, what's the
120th minute, 3-1 to the Netherlands. The rest preparing to blow, 1 minute of added time.
Stones are shouting at the ref, blow that whistle.
Get liking the video, get subscribing as well. We're going to get one final question for Darren at full time. So get all your questions in the comments right now. Will is going to pick his favourite. Let's make sure it's good and not some nonsense. Either way, England are crashing out of the Nations League at the semi-final stage. We just look unfit. We look tired.
I think, we just ran out of steam, I think. I wouldn't say we looked unfit, but I just think the longer the game went on, we started to make 1 or 2 mistakes and we've just now run out of gas.
Yeah, it's like I can sense all of the headlines tomorrow as well, like the old England return.
No, that's the thing. I don't think like we played particularly bad, but it was just they were such cheap goals. It's like
we've won them the game.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, we have thrown it away. Absolutely thrown it away. The headlines tomorrow will read like England throw away the Nations League. There we have it. The Dutch go through to the final to face Portugal on Sunday. England crash out at the semi-final stage. Just not good enough on the night. Gave the Dutch some very simple goals. An own goal from Walker, Promes and De Ligt enough to win 3-1.
Oh, now he's turned out.
After England actually went 1-0 up, let's not forget, through that Rashford penalty. So a great turnaround for Ronald Koeman's side. Southgate, yet again, crashes out of the semi-finals. 2 semi-finals in 2 tournaments. Let's hope one day we can reach the promised land. Let's get one more question then from the people at home for Darren, and then we'll wrap up the game and we can all get our taxis in.
Darren, in that dressing room now, someone like Stones, you're going up to him, what would you be saying to him?
I'd just say to him, don't worry, you've made a mistake. Don't even worry about it, do you know what I mean? Everyone makes mistakes at the end of the day, don't take it personally, just stay strong and move on.
How much of a learning curve will it be for these young Lions? Because obviously, second semi-final, they've gone out. They must be hurting again.
Yeah, it'd be tough. I mean, it's a semi-final. It was a chance to win some silverware, and I think it'd be more disappointing because they went 1 up. Do you know what I mean? And then you just got to think to yourself, it's got to go again. I know. Listen, what they don't want to do now is turn this third place game and get turned over by Switzerland. That's what
wow.
That's what you don't want to happen. Do you know what I mean? So you want to take something from these 2 games. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to go there, get turned over by them, and then all of a sudden it's like, then you are inviting the criticism and the people, the negative stuff to be said. So you want to go and win that game, finish third, and then you go into the Euro.
Yeah, I totally agree. Either way, we're kind of wrapping up with De Ligt as the man of the match. I think we can all agree. I'm not sure who actually got it, but 3-1. So we play Switzerland on Sunday as well. At half 2, before obviously the big one, Portugal versus the Dutch. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe to both Football Daily and Soccer AM, though, I guess. Brazil, where can they find you on social media?
At Will Brazier.
Yeah, all the usual places. Darren, anything to plug?
No, I'm cool, Mr. D, Bent 11.
Someone asked where you get your haircut, actually, in the comments.
Did they?
Yeah, where'd you get it done?
Harry Bird and Co Barbers.
Wow, big plug. Big plug. Dave, anything to plug?
This is the last Football Social of the season, mate. We'll be back.
Oh, it is.
August the 5th. Is that the new season? I don't know.
Something like that. I think it might be even earlier than that. August the 14th. Friday night game, maybe. We'll be back though, won't we?
Hell of a ride, don't it?
It has, yeah. So we'll be back for the Football Social for the start of the new season. I'm sure Darren will be on there at some stage.
Definitely.
Thanks very much to everybody that's tuned in this season. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, but we got there in the end. Thanks to tuning in tonight. Thanks to the boys on the sofa as well. Sad to say England have gone out of the Nations League, but never mind. Good night.